I just have to say that Sam was mean to Arcane Anthems, and we're gonna have to throw him out.
I mean,
Actually, it wasn't me. He was communicating with basically the crouch spam, and we didn't see him. All we saw were two people crouch spamming. We thought, shit, he got downed. Vengeance time. Unloaded on him. Took him. I was like, wait, what are you doing? You're up? You're alive? Oh.
you better
You were
apologize.
trying to
Walker?
communicate, weren't you? Yeah. Oh, damn it. I'm sorry.
Oh, babe. It's okay. You'll respawn. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Dinner and a Game. We hope you guys have had a good week so far. It is Wednesday. Wednesday is hump day. But Wednesday also means it is time for Kingdoms of Mist. Kingdoms of Mist is our D&D 5e homebrew that I play with these amazing people. And it's a homebrew that's loosely based off of Treasure Planet, because I wanted flying pirate ships and I wanted, ship-to-ship combat, but I didn't want it to be high sci-fi, so instead we're high fantasy. And last game, we ended on a cliffhanger as Utopia's love interest. There we go. Love interest. It's developing.
Soulmate.
It's developing.
Soulmate.
I mean, I just say not girlfriend.
It's growing. I'm just saying it's happening. There's things are happening. There's always something happening. Things are happening.
Nothing that I want to happen. We haven't had a first date yet.
But you're not the DM.
I ruined it. I'm a ruiner of things.
Ruined it.
I have achieved a life goal. I am officially a ruiner of things.
But you won't have kneecaps.
Huh? I
But
won't
you
have
won't have
kneecaps,
kneecaps.
but
No,
I
you
will.
won't.
I will not
Clock
have
is
kneecaps. So I'm canceling her flight, and if anyone wants a free pass to Gen Con,
I think that's gonna stop.
Rob, if you pick her up, you're not staying in the house.
Oh, god damn it.
Okay. So
Yeah, it might have a hotel room you can crash.
Thank you.
So
I don't know yet.
Kingdoms of Mist is a 5e game, which means we're playing Dungeons and Dragons tonight. And the people who have joined me for this amazing undertaking of trying to save the world when they really don't even know what's going on yet, which is basically every RPG that you've ever heard of. That's the general plot.
That's the general plot, yeah.
Yeah,
right.
Trying to save the world when you have absolutely no idea what's going on. Oh shit! I'm sorry. Just had to bring this up. Did you guys see the post that I put up in? I don't know if you follow it, but our Dinner and a Game Facebook group. The one about Team Rocket.
Oh no.
Facebook.
Searching.
I haven't touched
Yeah.
Facebook in years.
It's just we have our biggest following there, so we post a lot of stuff there. Where'd it go? There it is. It just says, you ever realize that all the millennial energy that Jesse and James and Meowth give off, they're 25 years old and they're 25-year-olds who are frequently broke, can barely afford basic living expenses. They waste money on stupid stuff they don't really need, but will always sacrifice funds for their friends. Jesse has ambition but lacks the money, skills, and resources to make them happen. James rejected the lifestyle and marital expectations of his parents in the pursuit of his own freedom. Meowth wasted his energy to learn a skill that didn't lead to the life of happiness he expected. They worked for a company led by a dismissive boss, fully expecting to be promoted for their hard work. When they were kids, we all wanted to be like Ash Ketchum, but we all grew up to be Team Rocket.
I feel so called out and so
So many
mean.
levels.
Like, ugh.
God damn. Oh my god, we're blasting off again.
Hey, I even have a cat. Look, I have a Meowth.
Oh, yeah, they looked really happy right there. It's like,
Oh no, that's Charlie's face. He just always looks unhappy.
That's Charlie's face.
He looks confused.
He looks confused. So, let's go ahead and say hi to everybody. Hi, amazing cast. How are y'all doing? Is everyone having a good week so far? With the massive
So
silence
far.
and scariness.
Yeah.
So far, I am not going to say yes, because then life's going to come out of nowhere going, okay. and sweep my legs again.
It hasn't been a bad week, so I'll take it.
Excellent. Well, let's start with Sam then. Sam, who are you playing this evening?
So this evening I am playing Drake, what kind of on the surface might appear as a swashbuckler rogue by his actions, but in fact is a soul knife. He specializes in psionic communications and blades, and
never
has a
loses
burning
weapon.
hatred for a certain militant group.
Oh, I do have them switched. Hang on one second. I'm going to fix Rob and Milagros'
Have
things
that be
because
my
they're in the
intro. I
wrong
was like,
spot.
"Hi, I'm
Oh,
Milagros."
You are Milagros. Just tonight, though.
Oh, hydrate.
Hey, sweet tea.
Aw, T.
Hey, sweet tea, what's up?
Hey, bud.
Well, speaking of tea,
Speaking of tea,
Nice.
Oh, my
All
tea is
right.
downstairs.
Yeah, I was
Good
making
stuff, teas.
did you forget
Oh,
to bring
which
a
I-
drink?
I have water. I just left
Okay,
my
well, as
tea
long as you have
downstairs.
something to drink. Because, you
Yeah,
know,
I-
in order for my players to produce the proper amount of tears, they must be hydrated.
Oh,
True.
and
Hydrate or
probably just a
dehydrate.
little bit thirsty.
I mean, I'm always a little bit thirsty.
Oh, I need to hydrate too, sorry.
that has nothing to do with water.
We were just discussing
it
that,
does
sweet tea.
not. Hello.
Everyone seems to be having one of those weeks, so but hopefully it'll get better now. And Sam is playing Drake, as he said. Rob,
Yo,
how are you doing?
doing okay.
Doing okay. Man, this is a week for it, ladies and gentlemen. If we get okays out of everyone, I think we're on a roll.
Yes.
I think I'm. You know what? I'll say good. I generally just like that
Raising the stakes.
that like automatic response of
Yeah.
like when somebody asks you, you're just like, I'm all right.
I'm all right.
Well, I think I'm doing good.
yes.
I think I'm doing
Good.
good.
Excellent. Excellent. And who are you playing tonight?
I'm playing Aeom tonight, who is some odd amount of levels of monk and one level of fighter.
And he's also a what? Race.
Oh, sorry, he's a satyr.
Yeah. not a usual race, man. That's always got to be something
Yeah.
that's a selling point for Aeom.
That's
Because
true.
he is a satyr. Thank you very much. Cassie,
Hi, I'm here.
we caught you mid-yawn.
No, I had a burp and it got stuck, and I was trying to
Ooh.
disguise it.
Oh, never worry about that. We're dinner and a game, and we believe in the Germanic form of complimenting the chef.
Oh man, you are gonna be
How
so-
loud and long can you belch?
Oh, that's I belch like a man. Not to put a gender role on it, but
Nice.
Not to put a gender rule on it.
nope, I
That's hot.
have
That's real hot.
It is impressive. It is impressive.
when I
So-
was like 15, I shot some old farmers in an Arby's one time because I didn't know there was other people in there.
Shot.
Nope, my lawyer says I can't say that.
That changes the story entirely.
Entirely.
When you have to bring in lawyers, it's a good story.
But I think I'm gonna follow up on Rob, and I think I'm doing pretty all right. It's been a week, but doing all right.
Excellent. Well, I mean, this is it, though, ladies and gentlemen. This is the hump day. This is the point
It
where
is
we're
hump day.
over halfway through. We're on the downward end. And so just survive, get through to the weekend, and then
Yeah.
get up really early on Saturday.
I gotta
Yep.
get up early on Friday. I have inventory at my store.
Well, I meant get up early
did
for
not
our new
pity you.
show.
Well, yeah, I mean, getting up early to go into work on Friday means I get to go home early on
Early.
Friday, which means possibly getting to start D&D early, which means I can go to bed early and get up early on Saturday.
There you go. It's a
There
plan.
you
It's
go.
a loop.
And who
See,
are you
I don't
playing?
have a choice. If the wife is up, I'm up.
man,
Speaking
no,
of D&D, who are you playing today?
I am playing our wood elf druid, Circle of Spores, Callie Tassara.
Yes. And thank you very much. And I hope everyone survives, including Cal. Sphinx,
Yeah.
you and I have had the week, so we both know that we're on the okay side.
Yep. That's very true.
So
Very true, full of proof.
who, sir, are you playing this evening?
I am playing Mr. Valestein O'Call, a Kalishtar, and a Bard School of Creation or College of Creation and Shadow Sorcerer.
I swear to God, when you started taking shit levels of Shadow Sorcerer, I was like, is he just trying to feed me?
Yeah.
It's not even my birthday yet, but I suppose it's an early present. And now my birthday's coming past, so I'm cashing in.
Nice. Well, you're right. It's been your birthday. So. But make no mistake, sir. Next Wednesday is my birthday, and I'm cashing chips.
Yes.
Dun, dun, dun.
Yes.
Oh, excellent. And finally, Milagros. She's mad at me, ladies and gentlemen.
Of course I'm mad at you.
Taking kneecaps.
Of course I'm mad at you. And I think I broke my foundry.
What's wrong?
Oh.
My character sheet's gone. It says I'm level 0, but I have 67 hit points.
Hit F5.
Damn.
Oh, God.
You just refreshes the screen.
Hello.
Level 0 with 67 hit points. Oh,
Right?
damn.
Like, we're
Pretty
like
badass.
the only place it goes up, I guess. Like,
That's
Closest I've gotten to that so far without, quote unquote perfect stats was 18 hit points at level 1 with
Did you
Barbarian
guys-
Rage.
No, it's still empty. And I have no actions or inventory
Alright, let me
or
go and
features.
see if
At
I
level
can-
1, you just get like stock though, don't you? For hit points?
I don't know. I just have nothing.
I don't know.
I can't do
nothing.
can't
Pretty
do
sure it's
shit.
actually their Constitution, right? And
Mhm.
Dexterity for Barbarian? I forget.
That's armor class.
Okay, armor class. Sorry.
Yeah, hit points is just con plus max value of your hit dice for level 1.
So I guess if you packed all of his points into if you got like a
Just
20
con.
in Constitution, yeah.
The
5 plus d12. which
DM
would be
gave us
17.
a starting feat, to which I chose tough.
Oh, right on. There you go. That'll do it.
So, yeah. Goliath Barbarian with 18 hit points at level 1. Yeesh.
Damn.
Yeah.
I am in that particular game the group's tank.
I've never played a
somewhat
level
AC,
1
also HP.
character.
It's been a very long time since I've been to level 1 anything.
You started level 1 in this game, didn't we? Or did we start?
No,
level
we started
three?
at level 3.
No, you started
I mean,
at 3.
It's
Yeah, I've
that
only
whole
ever
it's that
started
whole
at level
argument
3.
with level 1 of is it even worth it?
It's not.
Yeah, because
It's not.
you don't get anything yet.
Yeah, and it's that whole process of, if my character dies at this level, I've learned nothing, I've gained nothing, and I've experienced nothing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like most classes, you don't even have a subclass until level 3.
Yep.
The level
So
3,
it's like
yeah.
it's not
I think
really
the only
worth.
exceptions are what? Warlocks and clerics?
Clerics.
So it's more like, let's make sure that we bring everyone on board and let them experience things and have a good time.
Yep.
I'm also trying to find a pit crew because I want to update my little token now that my foundry's broken.
I'm seeing you. Yeah, you're level 0.
Yeah, I
Interesting.
level got
very
redacted.
Let me make sure you're okay in D&D Beyond too. So
Snatched.
Yeah.
because that's going to be the key. Because that's where I'm going to bring you in again from. I'm going to re-import
Yeah.
you from D&D Beyond.
I just updated my D&D Beyond.
Perfect. That may be why. Because sometimes when you update your characters with Foundry, it
It's
does
an
this
auto
whole.
update.
I don't know what you're doing with this character, and I don't trust you.
Oh, yeah, it didn't even take my level up
Yeah.
from D&D Beyond.
It
I will
usually
go through
doesn't.
and-
Oh yeah, it has not taken mine either.
So it's like,
No.
okay, dope. That now I know what I have right now. I can take that. That's cool.
Well, the cool thing is I can do this on the side and don't have to take up everyone else's time with it. Utopia. Utopia. Milagros.
We're already in there.
Who are you playing this amazing evening?
I am playing our pissed off paladin, who just had her almost GF stolen after having to chase her down because instead of having a first date, it turns out she's cursed, which is fine. She doesn't even care about that. Like, she doesn't even care. She's a big dumb lesbian. She just wants to be gay. The world is ending, and she hasn't even gotten to be gay yet.
Be gay to war crimes?
You
Be
know,
gay, do
like,
war crimes. What?
shit, man. This is literally her family's entire ass fault. Like, she's just trying to be gay before the world explodes. Again.
Life goal. Love it.
Her family had a planetoid of their own, and that shit got yeeted, and everybody died. So, and her name is Utopia O'Call, formerly Aster, but kind of not because she's the only living Aster, so she kind of has to take it. At some point, I would like to speak to a lawyer and see how we're going to reconcile that.
We can always hyphenate Aster O'Call.
No, O'Call should come first.
Okay. You could be O'Call, Lady of Aster.
Ooh.
Maybe. We got to figure
But then,
out.
but then if
that's a
it
neat
can't put
one.
on paper, it's just going to be O'Call, Lady of Ass, and that might
Lady
go
of Ass.
She doesn't get any ass. She doesn't get anything because Ray's mean.
What the-
Hey, you know what? You know what?
I am mean.
Draco Wingman. Draco Wingman.
I am
Honestly-
mean. I mean,
Honestly,
there's
I
nothing
would
that can
love
be
to see
said.
Drake try to wingman for her dumb ass because she's abysmal
Well,
at
Also,
flirting.
Sphinx, no, you don't get to wingman.
I was gonna
I'm a
say
wingman the
you
whole
can always
time.
continue with your current version of a wingman, which is really creepy because it's your adopted dad.
I would
Hey,
love
hey,
to
hey,
see
hey,
Drake
hey,
try
hey, hey.
and be a wingman. She's
I would
absolutely
wingman for my
awful.
actual daughter if it came down to it. Let's go.
I mean,
I
heck
respect
yeah.
that though.
No, but
Oh
that's
my god!
sweet.
So
That's
yeah, no, we're not
sweet.
getting weird or anything.
It's not weird if you want them to be happy. Like, let them explore
Exactly.
themselves. I'm gonna let you. Yeah.
Well, you
Heck
know,
yeah.
there's that one line off of that movie Parenthood, where one of the moms has a daughter who's dating this guy she hates, and she literally, girl's still in high school, and she moves him into the house,
Oh my
and
God.
everyone, and her daughter's like, you know, her mom takes her. He decides that he's gonna become a drag racer because his brother owns a car, and so her mom takes her out there to the first drag race. He races the car. He crashes the car. The daughter. Oh, they got married. That's what happened. They eloped. They got married. So the daughter. He crashes the car. So the daughter freaks out because he could really be dead. So instead of running out there with everyone else, she freaks out and she stops. And her mom comes back to her and comes like, "What's going on?" She's like, "I can't do this. It's too real." And she's like, "Honey, this is what you wanted." And they get over there, and then his brothers are pulling him out of the car, and he's fine. He actually goes, "Did I win?"
God.
Yep. That's all.
and then she looks at him and she's like, "You hate him so much. How come you do everything to keep us together?" And she says, "Because he's what you want, and I want you to have what you want."
That's
Aw,
yes.
that's so
100%.
sweet.
100%.
Then everyone caught on fire, and it was terrifying.
Wow.
That sounds
All
good.
right. All right. All
That's
right.
right.
We have
Sorry.
nice things. Why
No, I was waiting
We have
for it.
nice
I was freaking waiting for it. There it is.
And then
I'm so
Sephiroth
naive.
appeared and summoned a meteor.
Just
No, no,
God
no, no,
damn
no.
it. But
everyone had
That
Phoenix
wouldn't be
down
meteor.
potions,
That
like,
would be
by the pound.
Sudden and unexpected belly button piercing.
Oh no! Sephiroth has a bad hair day. He's raining down
Everything.
the meteors.
I thought it
That
was,
was
just gonna be the
wrong
7-foot
and
katana
mean,
through the
and I
chest,
love it.
like.
Oh man, we're getting feelies about Aerith now.
Yes, we are.
It took me a second. I caught on.
There you go.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we've done Final Fantasy references. We have done cheesy 80s, 90s movies references. I think it's time to actually play some fucking D&D.
Let's do
Did
it.
you fix this thing?
And just to remind everyone, we're going to be doing the mini giveaway at the break, which is still being sponsored by the Necromancer's Tower, which is a Kickstarter being run by my good friend Doug. It's got some amazing minis on it. We're going to vote for a mini at the break, and you guys are going to get to pick the mini we're actually going to give away. The mini is in this set right here, which you can see on screen. It's going to be put up when we start our break at about 9:30. You guys are going to pick the mini to give away, and then when we come back from break, we're going to give away that mini. We're going to announce the mini that's picked, and we're going to give it away. And don't forget that when you vote for the mini, you're going to have to use the special command that's in chat. So be sure you do all of that and stick around to the break, because we are going to be giving away at the break, and you do have to be present to win. So that is all I have to say about that. We're doing a bunch of other giveaways, but we'll cover those when we go on break. All right, so when we left off.
Oh yay! I have stuff again.
Yes, I know. I'm still importing everyone. When we left off,
I was about to kill Ray.
Yes, that
gently.
is very true.
Gently.
Except
Just a little
I'm
bit.
not a fictional character in a game, so that would be murder.
And
Just
it
a
would
little
be
bit.
worth it.
What the fuck, Rob?
Wow. We're coming for
A
blood
certain
tonight.
planet just shifted a
Yay.
little farther from the fucking sun, is all I'm saying.
Wow.
Way to go, Rob. Millions of people
Take
just
it out on
froze.
me, not my planet.
Rob is my ride or die, and I love her.
Rob is my ride or die.
Here for it. Let's go.
We're going,
Hey,
trust me.
at least if that happens, they'll get a nice breeze, and the majority of them can say, "I am a leaf on the wind."
Fuck you.
Oh,
Fuck
no.
You.
No,
Fuck you.
no. Don't make me actually you.
What?
Leaves from the vine.
Oh no!
Oh,
Actually, doesn't
fuck.
affect me that badly.
Oh,
But then
God.
again, I saw a dad make his.
Fuck
When I was younger on a show, I saw a dad help his daughter and her favorite pet become inseparable.
I was
So
gonna
Stop
say,
it!
I was
Stop
gonna say,
it! Stop
I was
it!
gonna say.
Sam!
I don't know what's going on, but I approve.
You don't know Full Metal Alchemist?
No, I've never watched Full Metal Alchemist.
What?
What?
Wait. Let me
One episode you
explain.
can just skip.
Let me explain. I'm fucking old. Okay.
Like actual
So the
heresies,
wait.
too.
The animes you guys grew up with, when I was of the age to be able to experience those animes in my youth and have the time to sit around and watch animes like that, I was watching stuff like Robotech, because that's what was out when I was young.
Yeah.
By the
I
time
remember
stuff like
Robotech.
Full Metal Alchemist came out and all these other cool animes, I was hearing all fucking about them, but I had no fucking time to watch them.
But you can still
Valid.
watch it now.
Fair.
So.
However, at the time Full Metal Alchemist came out, you could have skipped it. It's fine.
No, you couldn't.
What?
No, the original, yes, you can. You can
Oh,
skip
the
the
original,
original.
yes.
You can
The
skip the
original.
original.
Yeah.
Brotherhood's only
Brotherhood
like
is-
10 years old, maybe?
Yeah.
and Brotherhood's animation is fucking clean.
So good.
Beautiful.
So good.
So pretty.
Excellent. Well, I mean, I'll catch up eventually.
Yeah,
I'm
Ray
still
was
trying to catch
probably
back.
you were
That's
probably
just
around for the original Fist of the North Star anime, weren't you?
Oh yeah,
Oh my god.
I have it.
Fist of the North Star.
I have it.
Yes.
Did you ever see the? Wait. Did you ever see the Fist of the North Star live action?
I hate that it exists. And
It
yes,
is
I
an
did see it.
atrocity.
The one
It
with
is
Down,
so
Down,
fucking
Julie
horrible.
Brown,
Okay,
and,
nobody should make live action anime. That's just there's never been a good one.
Downtown Julie Brown's in it. The kid
I
that plays Zuko is in it.
Yep.
And
Dante Bosco, really?
Dante Bosco
Yeah.
is in it.
It's one of the last
Oh,
things
yeah.
Dante Bosco really did before he never got another job acting again.
Where he's like, you know what? I'm just gonna put my voice on things instead of my
Last
face.
Airbender.
Yep.
Oh.
Yep.
What was the other one?
It was a
Malcolm
bunch.
McDowell was also in it.
Yeah. It was a bunch of B-list actors.
Yeah.
This sounds
yeah.
kind of C-list. This sounds.
Yeah. Some of them were
B-list
very
is
It
It
really
was.
was.
Yeah,
It really
yeah,
was.
Yeah.
Or what's it?
D-list
The
actors for a
D-list.
D-list film.
Yeah. But anyway, we keep on going off the rails.
I feel like we're in the
You have
88
rails?
adventure.
I just
rails?
feel like Milagros doesn't want to step into Utopia tonight. That's all.
No! No!
Fair. That is fair.
I
Let's
don't.
go.
I had a stroke last night on stream, and I have to cry. It's gonna be a lot. I'm just not gonna go to class tomorrow.
Dude, I've been
Valid.
there.
It's gonna be like
I'm calling in sick. Why? I played an RPG last night.
Yeah, I played too hard, and now I can't get up.
Too hard now.
So,
Mm-mm.
as we left off, I do believe Drake was hanging out a window, watching the last assassin ride away with Camille in front of him on the horse he had stolen. He was tearing ass down the street. He was already like, he was put it this way, he was about to go around the corner, so he was even going out of bow shot range.
I have a
Yeah,
question
I was
just
gonna
for
say-
context. Does Camille look like she's being carried away against her will?
Can't see her really,
Can't see her really.
Well,
Only
yeah,
can
she's
see her
in front,
clothing
I
and her
can hardly
hair.
see.
Okay.
because she's in front of him on the saddle.
So it could not even be Camille. It could be somebody dressed up as Camille.
No, it is.
So
I'm trying to give you an out.
No, Ray's too mean for that. I don't get it now.
So I got some bad news. Last one got away, and it looks like either someone helped them get away or they got a hostage. Not sure which.
What do you mean? A hostage? What? Could you see the hostage?
Couldn't get a look at their face, but judging off the colors of their clothing, it looks like that one that your daughter was kind of carrying in the building.
Oh no.
Or at least was by her and left as soon as the fighting started.
Wait, the pretty girl with the kids?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty sure it's the same one, yeah.
No,
Fuck.
no.
And
Well,
the
okay,
worst
we
part
gotta
about this
surrender,
is
right?
Utopia's not in this conversation because she wasn't
Yep.
present
No.
when the mind
She
link was
wasn't
established.
there.
I
Yep.
don't even know yet.
I walk up to Sphinx.
Sphinx?
You're,
The Sphinx.
or sorry,
Breaking the fourth wall.
Val, I'm sorry.
That's okay. We're
Wow.
so far off the rails.
It's all
We might
good.
just call each other by our real names for the rest of the
Val.
night.
Hell yeah.
Anyway, go ahead.
Yeah.
This is. Good luck
No.
in this one.
Yeah. Shit.
I mean, I can tell her if need be.
I think
No.
it's better to come
It
from Val.
should probably come from me.
Are we not going after her?
Oh, I have a feeling we will be going after her. But yeah. Where is Utopia at this point?
Lumbering up the stairs.
Yeah,
Just
probably
clank,
best we
clanking up the fucking.
pursue. Though I definitely want to ask the Lord or whatever they were after, why the fuck a bunch of stab-happy clowns in gimp suits were here to pay him a little visit?
That's also a really good question, and definitely worth asking. If you guys want to go and do that, I'll go talk to my daughter.
Okay.
We'll catch up.
Rob, Callie, and Drake, you remember that they took the minister downstairs into the basement below the kitchen.
Oh, before like
Yep.
as they're going, I will think into the group chat. Also, the guy that who I tried to mind read, who faked his death. Would you secure his body, please? I have some questions for him.
Isn't he dead?
I would be more than happy to.
It will not stop me.
Okay. I don't ask questions about this kind of thing.
I'll guard the body.
This gets darker
Thank
and
you.
darker with every moment.
Let's grab the body,
Like,
put him on a table.
Trust me. With me and Callie here, it's only down from here.
Nah.
Oh,
That's-
good. And I thought I was
that's
at rock
comforting.
bottom.
No, we can go
No,
underground.
that
I
would
know
be
some
when
trails.
that would be when Callie's out of spells and I'm out of ideas.
Great. I pray that moment never comes.
Well, it
You and
hasn't
me
so
both.
far.
Yeah.
So, Val,
Yeah.
Utopia is still like, she's probably looking for you guys as she's come into the building. So you head downstairs, and you probably run into each other on the landing.
Yeah. Hey, kiddo.
Are you okay?
um,
Did you get hurt? Did anyone get hurt?
Uh,
Other than Aom?
I'm fine.
we,
Mostly.
we've been worse, I'm sure. I got. Oh, there's no really easy way to say this. And you can see that like there's like anguish and just like absolute just like it's whatever it is, it's paining him. Kiddo, one of the assassins that came here, I'm guessing to kill the minister, managed to escape,
Okay.
and they took a hostage.
The minister?
No. And I will look into your eyes with all of like the salinity and gravity that I can muster. And to Camille.
There's a railing to the stairs, right?
Yep.
Yeah, that shit's getting smashed. Like, we're not punching walls, we're committing property damage.
It looked like
Just-
a really nice railing.
I don't care. It's
and
the
Val's
winter
just-
railing now.
Val just kind of sits there or stands there and kind of nods. That is an appropriate response.
And it's my fault. It's my
It's not your fault. It's our fault. We walked into this. We were not quick enough to catch the assassin, and they got away.
I sent her outside, and I could have kept her close. And I didn't.
But you chose instead to try and keep her safe and out of harm's way, which honestly, I would have done the same.
Is he
And
gone
I will-
already? How far is he?
At least around about, what was it, like, how far did we?
If he's been riding this entire time, he may be out of the city by now.
It's very likely he's out of the city now.
If he's leaving the city.
If he's leaving the city, he's gone. We don't know where he's going, but I would assume that he's left the city by now. I hope I'm wrong, and I hope she's a lot easier. They're a lot easier to track down. And we will track them down. I put like a comforting hand on your shoulder. We will track them down. We will save her.
And then what?
And we crush the assholes responsible. And you get your date.
It feels wrong to be concerned about that right now.
I know. I still want that for you. Haven't been your dad for very long, but I still get to want you to be happy.
I mean, I could, I could start to go after them. Do you know what direction they went, or?
I didn't see what direction they went. Drake's the one that saw.
Where is he?
They're looking for the minister now.
Okay.
Hopefully to make sure that he's safe and also to get some information, which I'm hoping. There was a lot that you missed when you were out.
Yeah, I saw that.
I got some asshole attempted to frame me for their own murder, so I've got a lot of questions for them.
Okay.
And hopefully the gang has found their body as well, so that I can ask them those questions.
Okay.
Why don't you just come with me, kiddo? We'll sort all of this out. We'll figure it out together. You have my word.
Thank you.
There's just a really weird telekinetic or like telepathic message to those in the network. By the way, if you see any of those assassins that was around, like my build 6'3", put the body aside. Their outfit and weapons might make for a good disguise later on.
Good to know.
Noted.
Why are you all built like giants?
Why are you so small?
I'm
Why are
built
you
like
so
the
little?
mast of a ship. What do you mean?
But like the mast of a
Why are you
ship.
so little?
Tall and thin.
I guess I am the oddity here.
You are fairly small, my friend.
Hang
It
on.
just makes it easier to get into small places.
Actually, how tall is Callie?
I'm just checking. I'm like, where did I put
If I
that?
remember correctly.
There it is. 5'7". She's not super
Oh,
short.
okay.
Yeah.
All right. Because
I guess that's not short at all. What am
I'm
I
5'11" because of my horns.
Be bigger, Aeom.
Oh my god.
That
Just
Aeom
means you
just
could pull the. I would
ching.
be the bigger man.
If I was Aeon, I would
However-
simply be taller.
Anyway,
So,
so
so we're talking like 4 inches of horn, or like how much?
They like curve backwards, so it's like 6 inches of horn.
Okay. So then I am a tiny bit taller
Phrasing.
than Aeon without horns.
Aeom counts as horns.
I would too. Eye lines don't match up, but
Yeah.
you guys start heading towards the kitchen, I assume, or are you gonna go get
Yeah.
the body first?
oh, I'm totally skipping downstairs into the body.
Okay, so the body was back in the library.
Okay. Yep.
When you go back into the library area, you can see the hallway that was described to you where the body was supposed to be. I was like trying to move the map on the OBS instead of in Foundry.
That sounds
So you can see where the body was pretty much incinerated in place. I mean, actually, gotta go down to I gotta activate the other map real quick.
there we go.
The other map.
Yes,
The other map. There's all the maps.
Yeah.
We use all the maps.
we use all
Every
the
last
maps.
one of them.
So the body was in over here it was a living area, not the library. I'm sorry, right off to the left of the dining area, and it was in this hallway right here that comes into the dining area where the attack quote unquote happened. And there is on the floor. There is a charge area. There's also a charred area along the wall. You see a couple of handprints on the wall that look, number one, like a mix of grease and ash. And the handprints like go up the wall like they were like hoisting themselves up. And
Oh.
you see a pair of footprints that trail off and go to the south into the room. And then they go out a set of double doors that goes into this open area that's right beside what is the guard tower for the estate. It's a stone paved area out there. And then from there, those footprints go out to the edge of the stone paved area. They're starting to get harder to see, though, as all the gunk and muck that they were standing in when they stood up in that burn circle is being worn off. There's a wooden palisade fence that's about 10 feet tall. The footprints come up to the base of the fence. They're standing, it's like the person was standing there staring at the fence, and then there's nothing else.
Okay. Can I make like a survival check? See if like maybe they tried to jump. Like if there's a deeper impression because they tried to jump. Or...
Absolutely.
All right. Awesome. Let's see. I don't even know if my survival's good or not. It's gotta be okay, right?
You're a druid.
Ah, yes, it's good.
I was gonna say you're a druid.
Ooh, oh, it helps if I roll better. 13. It didn't roll well. I think I'm in the wrong. I rolled in the wrong place. Oh. Whoop, wait. This
I
one.
got away. God, son of a bitch.
Faked his death and got away. Son of a fuck.
Normal roll.
That's a 12.
There we go. 12. Okay. I was like, I can't read what I'm doing.
You can see by the pattern of the boots that it does look like he basically vertically leapt straight up. And with that knowledge, you kind of like shimmy up the top of the fence, kind of pull yourself up, jump up and pull yourself up. And at the top of the palisades, which is spiked, you can see that there are two handprints, like where apparently he caught the top of the fence, but they're like, it's not like he pulled or dragged himself up. It's almost like the handprints were just a touch. But because apparently, number one, you saw him burn up. So you know he was fairly emoliated. So what's basically leaving the greasy stains is all of his body fat that melted
Ooh.
and is hanging off of him
Hello.
because there's not much skin left.
Okay.
So number one, he should be in so much pain he cannot move.
Yeah, that's intense.
And number two, he's leaving a pretty easy trail to follow as long as he touches things.
Sorry to bother everyone, but it seems like our dead guy just walked away. I'm gonna follow him, okay?
Hold on. What do you mean walked away?
Yeah.
He
That was
walked
my
away.
question.
I don't know. He walked away. There's footprints and there's like handprints. It looks like if you've ever like really boiled down an animal and you get that like layer of fat on top and you smear it on things. That's kind of what it looks like.
Tallow?
Yeah. Yeah, you make candles out of it and stuff. It's great.
People candles.
Works really good
Wait.
as lotion.
You're telling me that motherfucker is alive and still kicking after that?
Well, I mean, he may be animated dead. It's hard to tell if I'm not there. That's why I'm gonna follow him, okay?
Hey,
Okay.
you mind going with Callie while
Yeah, I'm going
I
with Callie.
talk to this lord and Honestly,
Utopia and
what is
I
that?
are on our way to you, Drake.
all right, let's talk to this lord and then pick up on the trail as well.
Aom jumps up onto the like fence railing beside Callie.
Okay, well we got to give you a couple months to get over there. Plus, we need to rewind a couple of seconds. All that scene just happened. You go to the steps. All right, you look down the steps because Callie and you guys and Callie split up.
Yeah.
Okay, so you go to steps, you look down the steps. At the bottom of the steps, you see the two guards that survived the encounter are standing there, and they're standing at the bottom of the steps, and they're like blocking off the bottom of the step area, and they're holding their spears and shields out, and they look up and they see you, and one of them they kind of look around and they're like identify yourself.
Aom?
And he kind of looks. He's like, he looks around. He goes, an Aom, sir. And you hear the Lord Trask go, yes, no, he's one of the heroes. And the guy looks up. Is it clear? Is it safe?
It's a question to me. Yeah, it's safe.
Says it's clear, sir. And the guard starts coming up. All the lords and everyone start coming upstairs.
Aom
Hey.
stopped them for a second.
Okay.
One of them did get away.
He's like, and the guards stop and look at you and look around. It's like they're like suddenly on guard again. And he's like, did he still in the building?
No, he left the building.
Are you sure?
Pretty sure.
He says, he kind of looks around and he says, Jägerhorn kind of looks at you, and he looks over at Lord Trask, and Lord Trask says, I would trust them, sir. And Jägerhorn goes, very well. He says, they say, I'm going to send one of my men to bring a larger contingent of my guard down from the ship. And he kind of looks over at Val and Aom and Drake, and he says, I need to speak with all of you immediately.
Well, by all means, I've got a few questions myself.
And I've
And
got
also allow me to introduce my daughter Utopia.
Right as you say that, the message from Callie comes through, and you guys have that quick conversation. Because, like, you kind of like just put up a hand for a second, and everyone like goes quiet and stares off into the middle distance for a little while. And so you basically are
Sorry,
sitting
my
there.
brain's getting attacked. So long.
Sorry, my
Brain's
friends'
getting
brains are
attacked.
getting melted.
Do you have call waiting?
They
They put me on hold. I don't know what to do.
Utopia either, like, for those who don't know how to do it yet, probably sees them like talking, but not really talking to anyone.
No, but she
just
she
seems
knows what's going on. Like this has happened
Yes.
before.
Yeah.
Yes.
I imagine it's working like sending.
Yeah.
Yep. So basically, that happens, and so now the conversation ends. And Aom, that's when you say you're gonna go.
catch up to Callie.
Yeah.
I will
Okay.
give him
Be careful.
directions to where I tracked him out of the building.
Gotcha.
Good luck, guys.
Be careful.
You too.
Don't
Try not to
die
start a fight
again.
without us.
Don't die.
I am not losing anybody else today.
Think I'm the one least likely to start a fight out of all of us.
He's right. They're
I
right.
say start a fight. I mean, die in a fight. I'm not there.
You did punch him fork earlier today, so.
But I am
He
the
was
most
the only
likely to
one.
die, and I just
Don't worry, you're
cut
going with
brain
the
maze.
Hey,
I still got some healing
real
spells. We're
quick.
good. We're good.
Okay.
Once this is all over and done, you and me might need to take a trip to the tattoo parlor.
Interesting. Why?
Once this is all said and done, I'll show you why.
Is he gonna get like tally marks?
hold
Like
you
every
to that.
time he almost fucking dies, he just
He's
gets.
got him on his arm for how many times he nearly died.
Oh my god!
Oh, hey,
Nice.
Celtic Werven King. Thank you very much for the raid. We really appreciate it.
Yay!
Oh,
Huzzah!
Woo!
Do. So,
Trying.
let's keep it with the lords and you three. So, Lord Trask looks around and he says, I know it's urgent, but I think we should take pains to secure the house first
Yeah.
and make sure that we don't have any more unexpected visitors.
Yeah. I'd also like to point out, and at this point, I turn to Lord Jaeger, to Minister Jaegerhorn. Your friend, the one that convinced me to touch him and not you, not dead. He's apparently escaped.
Jaegerhorn hand comes down and he says, I saw him on fire.
So did I, but
So did I.
Callie managed to go back to where his body was. Seems that he, even in his immolated state, managed to get up and walk out of the building.
Jaegerhorn kind of looks over at Trask and he looks at you.
Does he have any magic by any chance?
Jaegerhorn kind of looks back around and they look back around and they say, I never thought so. He never displayed anything.
Well, there might be a lot about him you didn't know before now.
There he is. He's been in my service. Well, he's been in the Spindle's service for a considerable amount of time. I would have been willing to say that every facet of his life was as known to me as mine was to him.
Well,
Which makes this even more troubling.
Yeah, especially how the fact that a bunch of stab-happy clowns in gimp suits just so happened to know you were here and were trying to kill you and everyone here. Timed as soon as that happened.
that was very...
Hydrate.
Convenient, I believe is the word.
the word taken from my mouth.
And Jaegerhorn kind of looks around and they say, more like tactically sound.
Also appropriate.
I would certainly like to know who wants you dead and now us along with them.
Jaegerhorn says, chuckles, and then they say, the world is on fire, and I am the last known representative of any type of strong central government.
Yeah, I'm sure that list is a mile long right now.
Well, and apparently all of them are not from here. And he looks at you all with a quizzical look on his face. Is that accurate, I assume?
It would appear that way. Yeah.
The Spindle, this is 3 months ago, the Spindle was flooded with ships that were packed with skyships that were packed with people, telling stories of armies of monsters and the Earth rising up to attack them.
We know the stories. One of us was just stolen. We rescued her from that. We know all of that.
It's accurate.
How did you survive that for 3 months?
We weren't there.
It would be a lot easier for me to explain if I can promise you that I will not harm you. If I can relay my memories of the events that have passed these, for you, 3 months, for us, considerably less time, it would all make more sense.
He steps forward and he's like, very well.
Okay. And I put, the 3 fingers to his face. Our mind to your mind. And then voices in his head, our thoughts to your thoughts. And then the flood.
So he actually, draws in a quick, deep intake of breath when all those memories start just cascading in. Are you just doing a dump?
It's more of a targeted, highlight reel of what has happened, where we started to where we are now.
Gotcha.
All of the important details.
Right. Do you include everything about the emerald?
Yes.
Okay.
I feel like it's something he would want to know.
I have a question. Is it just from Val's perspective? Val
It
can only
is.
relay his
Yeah.
memories.
It's
correct?
only Val's memories, yeah.
Yeah, it's only my memories.
All right.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's a thing I can learn to do later, but right now I don't know how to collect people's memories.
Memory transplants.
All
Stay
right.
out of my head.
But I would love that. That would be
Does
super cool.
Val,
burn
did
it
Val
like a
take the
CD.
merit for Edict memory?
What?
I don't like this idea. I don't like this idea. This is how we learned the Pokemon move Dream Eater. I don't like this idea.
Is that a feat that I can take?
Yep.
I did not realize this. No, I
Yep.
don't have that.
So I want you to make me a intelligence. I want to say saving throw, but I don't know if it should just be an actual check.
Just a straight check.
Yeah, just a straight check, an intelligence check.
Okay. I would say that as many times as I've done this so far, this should be interesting.
I was just thinking about it the other day, and I was like, without Edict memory, you tend to edit your own memories.
Sure.
And so I just want to see how accurate it is to what actually happened.
All right.
Fair.
Here we go. Roll the dice, damn you. There we go. Come on.
All right. You all the memories you have, you send into him. He kind of is sitting there and he says, afterwards he has to spend a few moments recomposing himself because it's still a lot. And he kind of stops and he looks at you and he says, they say, it matches stories that we have been told. I do not recognize a lot of what you showed me. But if what everyone is saying is true, then that makes sense as well.
It has been an interesting, for us, couple of weeks now.
When you were being transported out of the Wizard's Tower, what time was it?
It was evening, wasn't it? I believe it was
I'm
evening.
almost positive it was evening, yeah.
Was it well after dusk?
You want me to check? Because it's going to take a second.
Well, no one has Edict memory, so no. This is just on what y'all remember.
Yeah. I think we'd eaten an early dinner at that point, so possibly.
It says,
Oh, wow. That was last year.
Sure
What
was.
the fuck? Oh, the
that
passage of time.
was
What the fuck?
the general time when everyone stated that the tower exploded.
That's
Oh,
pretty
yeah.
much what we've been hearing.
Yeah.
That the explosion, for all intents and purposes, happened right after we teleported out of the tower.
Or it could have happened as. And if it
That too.
did, and it is what everyone says it was, which all the all the learned men I have spoken with say it is. That was an explosion of magical force.
Which could explain our propulsion several months forward, as opposed to us staying within the particular time frame.
So what, like crystals going haywire explosion or literal spell explosion?
There has been a lot of rumors of people finding a way to manipulate crystals to enhance magical effects. Or, in some cases, to act as a catalyst for a massive outpouring of magical energy. Taking a few crystals full of energy, tying them into a magical response to something like a certain spell being cast, and then all that magical energy being dumped into that casting, causing basically magic to exponentially go out of control. So it looks like, it seems that if this is what's happened, and for the nature of the explosion that's been described, something like a crystals would have to have been used to generate that much destructive capability. But if that's the case, then someone had to have gotten crystals, those crystals, into the campus and in place in that tower.
Yeah.
And they had to have been keyed off of a particular spell, which means that those crystals were meant to react to what was happening to you.
Oh, right. Someone's trying to kill you guys too. Lovely.
That's always nice. Wouldn't be the first time.
Well, it can't be worse than I was doing before.
As it stands, this is where we are now. A dear friend of ours, has seemingly been abducted by one of the assassins. And it is important that we resecure them.
By this time, there's a bunch of guards that have come into the building. Lord Trask and Lady Trask have stepped aside and started talking to them. When Lord Trask overhears you saying that, he says, "Who was it that was taken?"
Lady Camille.
And Lord Trask says, "All gates closed." He says, "You're looking for a young woman." And he goes through and he describes Camille. He says she was taken by a man riding a horse at this point. They may have abandoned the mount. They may already be out of the city. I want all gate guards to report in any comings and goings of couples with or without a horse leaving the gates. I want to know if they're in this city within the hour. And the guards kind of snaps to, and he says, "Yes, sir." And he goes taking off and yelling orders.
Thank you, my
These
lord.
guys were smart. They were already in here when the attack started. They didn't just suddenly run in the door. They were pretty well spread out throughout this entire manor. Means they were already embedded in here when the attack started, or they were able to move fast. If they're in this city, they're already underground and well hidden. Your guards won't find them if they're looking on the streets.
Trask kind of stops and he says, "If they went any place to hide, and they wanted to make sure they weren't followed, there's only one place they'd go."
Eyebrow raise. And that place would be
the mines.
Out of curiosity, which direction is that? From
He
here.
kind of he nods to his right, which is basically the city of Trask is built around the base of a cliff face, and above the cliff face there are several open cave mouths in the cliff face that have like either a lift system going up to them, or they have like switchback trails cut up to them, big enough for like mining carts to go up and down.
Sure.
The city of Trask was originally founded as a mining city.
Right.
The former ruler of Trask, and the city wasn't even named Trask at the time, turned out to be pretty much a necromantic despot. And he, as the mines were playing out, he was basically creating his own undead army with the intention of taking control of this entire area. And when he was defeated by Lord Trask and his adventuring party, and killed, unfortunately, the creatures that he created, all the undead that served him, remained. And they were in the mines. And the other big problem with that is that the mines themselves, due to the problems with accessing them, and the fact that, there's really not a bunch of adventuring types up here in the north. This is mainly people trying to eke a living out of the wilderness. There's not been as many people coming up to try and clear the mines and rid the town of the problems. And oddly enough, the undead rarely leave the mines.
So, mines are an option if they're headed there. The one who was taking the hostage is heading deeper into the city. If they were as well hidden as they were entering this place, they might have a safe house there. Someplace they can lay low. Something like that doesn't just happen without people knowing about it. Just gotta know who to talk to.
Lord Trask says, if there is a strong criminal element in Trask, it would probably be associated with those easy to abuse, which means that they would probably trying to infiltrate or gain a foothold within the refugee camp.
So now we just gotta see where these tracks lead to. It's probably gonna be one or the other.
If nothing else, it's a good place to start.
Lord Trask says, he looks at Mr. Earhorn, and he says, is there anything else you need from them? And Jaegerhorn says, he stops and he says, I would, yes, but, and he kind of looks at Utopia and he says, and I understand that what I require of them may take some time. So we will wait while they save and retrieve their friend. And then we will talk.
Thank you. Your patience is greatly appreciated.
Internally, not that we totally wouldn't have saved our friend before taking any job they would have given us, right?
Internally, very true.
And Jaegerhorn kind of like sighs and he says, I know what it's like not to know what's happening to those you care about and to be cut off from them.
That makes 3 of us.
Just don't let the grief consume you. The monster you become from that, there's no coming back from.
Jaegerhorn kind of half grins and they say, tragedy is nothing new to us, and I have every confidence that if he is alive, I have every confidence that he is alive. And if there's any form of rebellion being had in that city, he'll be in the middle of it. But in the meantime, you have a friend in need of help. And
Yeah.
I must speak to Lord Trask.
And we will take our leave.
Callie, Aom, we're heading your way.
So, Callie and Aom, are you guys just going up and over the wall?
Yep.
Figure.
I'm jumping it.
Yep.
Let's do it.
It's only like it's like a 10-foot wooden palisade. It's not super difficult to scrabble over, but eh. So you guys make it up and over the palisade, and you drop down the other side. The
We're
palace.
leaving Timothy behind.
Timothy. Oh. Timothy's just bumping into the palisade over.
Aeom just waves at him as.
Have him help me up and just be like, "Thanks, Timothy. You can go to bed now."
Can you release control of him like that?
No.
He's stuck.
You know, he's not going to sleep, right?
Wait a minute. On your ability to turn someone into a zombie with 1 hit point, how long does that zombie stay a zombie?
I believe it's an hour. I'm looking it
so
up.
eventually he's just going to drop and be dead again.
Yes. Mhm.
Okay.
I think you can. If it's the Raise Undead spell, I think you might have the
Nope.
ability to.
Nope,
oh,
it's not. It's
It's
a
part
class
of my
feature.
wild shape. Yeah.
Nice.
I can.
Yep.
I know nothing about that, so I'm going to shut up.
Yep. I can burn a use of my wild shape to do a fungal infestation. Animate it as a zombie under your control with 1 hit point in combat. Blah blah blah. It obeys your mental commands.
Think of it as a humanoid parasect.
It doesn't actually say how long he lasts for.
Really?
Phrasing.
Oh, thank you for the paints minis.
I mean, he's a zombie. Yeah, if a beast or
Oh.
humanoid that is small or medium dies within 10 feet of you, you can use a reaction to reanimate it as a zombie under your control with 1 hit point. In combat, the zombie turn comes immediately after yours. It obeys your mental commands, and only action it can take is an attack action, making 1 melee attack. So it doesn't say how long that lasts. I would assume if it's taking over my wild shape, it would have the same use as my wild shape.
How long does your wild shape last?
Currently I can have it for up to 4 hours.
Okay. So as long as he keeps on making his con saves, he's alive for 4 hours.
Yeah.
I mean, I could always just take him out on our way out. Just like, you're still awake.
Yeah, I mean, if we're flavoring it, or if we're taking rules of wild shape as a bonus action, you can cut it early.
So if it since I would say since it's being using your wild shape, Timmy counts as under those rules. So if you cut your wild shape early, then Timmy drops.
Okay. Yeah.
Like
then I would release Timmy, and he can just slump to the bottom of the swamp.
Admiral Redbeard is going to be upset. P.S. Studios, thank you for the raid, by the way.
Oh, we got another one.
Hey, thank you.
Yeah, so
unfortunately, Timmy can't climb walls, so he's gonna have to stay behind.
Timmy can barely do anything.
Timmy just exists. He's a
but
meat
you know what
shield.
Timmy can do? He can take several hits for you instead of you.
Heck yes, he can.
Sure can.
He's a meat shield. Love it.
You know
Big fan
he's
of Timmy.
not sleeping, right?
Well, my father once referred to death as the long sleep, so kind of.
I guess you could think about it that way. And Aeom slips over the other side of the wall.
See, you're just so much better at the climby thing.
It comes with the hooves.
I wish I had hooves. That'd be really cool.
They make a lot of noise, though. Like I could never do what Drake does.
No, you totally can. I'll make you like little booties or something.
Oh, booties could be nice.
Yeah, and then you'll be like quiet instead of clumps.
I love this idea.
Somebody tried to fit me with horseshoes once.
No, that would make it louder. That's really mean. Why would they
Yeah.
do that?
Well, cobblestones really wear on my hooves. I think they meant well.
Oh, sure. I wonder. I'm sure we could make some kind of shoes.
So one of the orcs? It was one of the orcs, wasn't it?
So
The orcs are just like, let's put them.
are you trying? So when you come over the wall onto the other side of the actual palisade, you see that the palisade was basically built to block off a small alley that came up to the side of the house. Okay, so this little alley goes down to the street just below it, and then the street cuts left, which goes back to the front of the manor. It cuts right, which goes down and works its way between some of the buildings beyond the palace, like the skyport that's right behind the palace. And then to the left, there is, and you recognize it, Aom, there is that huge black monolith of stone that is the prison, called the Oubliette, I do believe.
Yep.
And the little alley goes down behind the Oubliette, and then you see it turns, one alley portion of the alley goes up beside to the left side of the Oubliette, one person goes past it, and it ends at the end of the Oubliette behind it. So basically you can get onto the main street and go left to the front of the house, or you can go right, which goes over and down the block and over to the next canal.
Where do the tracks lead, Callie?
Yeah,
I need
where are the
another
footprints?
survival check.
All right, survival. Let's do this again. Be better. No. Oh, that was
Ooh.
really good.
Nice.
24. Yeah.
Wow, I had a big delay. I just saw it. So, yes, absolutely. The tracks actually go towards the front of the building.
They go this way.
Mm-hmm. So you're following them out, and after a few moments, the tracks, which are normally like at a walking pace, the distance between the prints starts to get longer and longer. I want to join, please. And it's like he's gone into this huge loping run where his strides are, and Aeon, because of your natural athletic abilities, you can judge this really easy.
Yeah.
His strides have to be gaining onto the length of like 10 feet a stride.
Jeez.
That's not normal.
Nope.
Not that that's abnormal for us. But
Well, I mean, it looked like he weighed next to nothing. I mean,
so
he
do
had to.
I,
It was
and I
like,
can't run 10 feet per stride.
I mean,
So,
that's-
but Aeon also, if he's moving that fast, he moves at the very least as fast as you do.
oh shit, monk speed, damn.
Why am I all of a sudden just imagining when AO runs since he doesn't have that long strides, just with those hoofs, just
It's just all speed. He's Sonic.
Yeah, like have you ever seen like a little duck run? It's just like slapping the fuck out of the ground.
no, worse.
I
It sounds
love
like
ducks.
somebody dropped a massage gun on wooden flooring. That's what it sounds like him running by.
Just the little clippy clops.
Just the clippiest clops as fast as fuck.
Jesus.
Love it. I love it. Just picturing it in my head, just like a little.
No one can
cigarette.
drum coconuts together that fast. It's impossible.
You need like a whole chorus of people with coconuts. Just timing right.
Yeah.
All right. So, but yeah, the loping run goes to the front of the house, and then it looks like he pauses there, and for like maybe a half a second, who knows, and then it shoots by, takes off and goes right in, according to what Drake said, is the same direction the horse ran.
Oh, they're trying to meet up. They're trying to meet up. We can probably follow these back to find the Camille.
Let's do it. But why?
So the two are connected.
Of course they're connected.
How can an advisor to a lord hide this so well?
Very good spy work.
But he had
Or
to have
maybe
been
they
doing
didn't
this for
know.
years.
Maybe he was mind controlled. That's a thing, right? You can mind control people?
You can definitely mind control people. But I'd love to talk to Jaegerhorn about this.
which direction should we go then? Should we try to follow Camille
No,
and
let's,
his people, or should we meet
question.
back with the others? Okay, because I feel like I'm gonna memorize these tracks so I can find them later. Okay, I got it.
Don't tell me how I'm feeling, Ray. Okay? You can't tell me how to feel, okay? The dessert tacos are helping, but they haven't fixed it.
The only thing that can fix it, Ray.
I busted open this pan by hand with a knife.
That is some
I
rage.
Now wait a minute. Hold on.
I'm afraid now.
It's apple pie filling.
Jeez.
I'm just
Okay, but like I can see like the jagged edges.
Yeah,
That's what I was doing. I was
you
just
can
stabbing
shank
it.
some.
Just
Oh
eating
my
the knife.
god, that's
Because
a
if you
sharp
sta-
knife.
Because if you stab, yeah, it's a paring knife. If you stab them right next to each other, then you can snap the little gap between it, and then you just
Yep.
cut in a different direction. You make a hinge.
Not wrong. Not wrong.
I can barely use a fucking can
I can just imagine what she was doing while she was stabbing that thing. It's like,
Yeah.
fucking god damn.
For Camille, this is for...
This is how I'm
Bad
going to take
my
your kneecaps.
Bro,
It's really
like,
going.
he killed my dad. He blew up he made the ending of the world my fault. You know, okay.
Look. Hold on. You see, this sounds bad, and it is that. But at least your girlfriend hasn't turned into the moon.
Yeah.
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 'Cause that's-
Don't
that's
give
really
him
rough.
ideas.
That's
Don't
rough,
give him
buddy.
ideas. Like, I just want whoever is watching to understand the emotional journey that I've been put through. This is my first time ever playing a tabletop RPG. This is my first time ever touching D&D in my life. Utopia is my first character. I blindly trusted him and was like, I would just like to make a big buff
Very
lesbian
appropriate.
character. And he's like, a paladin? And I'm like, sure. And he's like, well, metal is very expensive in the world I've created, so you would have to be a noble. And I'm like, okay. And then he made my noble family the reason the world ended.
See, but you learned your lesson now.
Oh,
Never,
I've
ever,
Nope, second
ever
game she-
trust any DM.
Nope.
Dude,
Ever.
I've been
If you're
here
gonna
for a
leave blank
year.
spaces, expect it to be filled
live
with
here
trauma.
now.
Oh,
Ray has
100%.
ruined my standards for everybody else. If every DM does not put me through this level of like epic meta bullshit, I'm gonna be so disappointed.
Epic meta bullshit. I'm
Right on,
That's a
right
you
good
on.
one.
can, you
I
can
know a
take
guy.
that.
That's a quarter
You can take that one.
I know a guy. I know a guy.
I know a guy.
I've been properly prepped for this. Wonderful.
I am a guy. I am
guy.
such a man.
I'm
We're gonna
on
have to
and
swap
off a guy.
stories later.
Part-time guy.
Yeah, part-time guy.
Part-time. On the weekends and holidays.
Both
Okay,
real
Renee?
and DM versions of that.
All right. Enough praising me.
Ray, what do you hear when we talk about you?
What?
No,
He
that's
just hears,
fair.
"This is so great. I love you so much. It's so amazing."
They all have the same best girly voice.
Ray, keep calling me, causing me drama.
I have warned everyone who has ever wanted to play in any of my games that.
This is gonna hurt.
Well, no. I'll tell you the one thing one of my friends said once. He said, "Everyone I know who runs RPGs like a TV series, like your favorite fantasy TV series." He says, "You run RPGs like a fucking novel, like a fucking George R.R. Martin novel, with all the fucking politics and bullshit and love and betrayal and crap. And every time I play one of your games, I play it for like 5 or 6 months, and then I'm fucking exhausted."
No, that
We're
sounds
at-
like they need more stamina.
Right? Only 5 or 6
Yeah,
months,
we're just past a year.
right?
Wow.
Hey, I've been slowly building. I haven't.
Slow burns are the best burns.
Yeah. Well, no, it's like I have not even begun to cause trauma yet.
All of Utopia's family dead. Haven't even started.
All of you told me. Wait, first she got
Yeah.
disowned. First she got
adopted.
disowned, and then everybody died. And then she found out that the disowning was fake, and that her dad actually did care about her. Like there's that whole clusterfuck.
Daddy was
There's
just
And
trying to
then
levels.
the
protect
city
you.
exploded.
Hey, but
Levels.
I'm not the one who wrote it in that he's not actually your dad.
I
Whoa!
think she does know that at this point, but she's never processed anything.
That was your
Yeah.
decision.
Oh no, that was my decision. But yeah, she hasn't. She's starting to get to the point where she's just this close to snapping, but still hasn't actually processed anything that's happened.
I'm so excited for this moment.
She's not doing well.
You need
gonna
to
be a
see
I
another
mean,
character
understandably
completely break.
so.
Oh my
I need to
goodness.
see somebody else totally break down.
I ran a 7-year campaign, and my wife was Utopia for the first 2 years.
Ooh.
We actually got married right after her storyline ended.
His own wife.
Nice.
That just means he cares so much about you.
Yeah.
So, back to the torture.
We're really on par today, man.
So, you guys are. What are you going to do? You're in the corner. Aom, you know he's fast. He probably is not going to have any problems keeping up or even catching up to the horse and rider. So, what are you going to do at this point?
How fast can you move, Callie?
How fast can I move? I mean, I'm not super fast, but I'm certainly faster than the average person.
We've got a lot of ground to make up.
Okay, wait. I think I have something for this.
And one other thing,
Double check.
Aom.
Yep.
When you move at top speed, like not blowing key points, when you're just moving, that is a sprint.
Yep.
You cannot sprint indefinitely.
Okay.
Eventually, lactic acid builds up in your muscles.
Yep.
And
Ow.
you think you're gonna die.
Yep.
Runner's high is a lie.
Oh, absolutely, it is.
No, there's actually
Bullshit.
people who get it. I've met them.
Is that
I've
what
met
that's
them.
supposed to be?
Sure, I think they're liars.
Oh God,
They're
no,
just
I don't do cardio.
masochists.
I know I have a friend and she got into running, and she was already really healthy. She got into running, and within like 6 months, because it was already there, but she didn't have 0% body fat. So within 6 months, all of a sudden she had fucking abs, and like you could see every muscle when she moved. And I was just like, I just want to buy you like a box of cheese and some chocolate and lots of red wine and lock you in your house for a weekend and make you come back.
Mood.
Fan of cheese.
That is
See,
a move.
I think, well, it might be from like the bouncing my leg for 22 years because of ADHD, but
Yeah.
I have like my calves are absolutely insane for no reason. I don't do cardio. I like when I do start going to the gym in a couple months, I want to do like strength training. Because lifting weights is fun. Cardio makes me feel like I'm about to have a panic attack. I hate it. But like I just have chicken drumsticks for no fucking reason. I don't understand why.
Because
see a
you were
problem
gifted
with
with them.
No, look, no, you don't understand. I'm gonna show the drumsticks. I'm showing the drumsticks because it's Wednesday and I don't care. Okay.
Twins.
That's a
Love it.
phrase.
I love it.
Okay.
Damn!
That's my calf
I'm jealous.
for no
Nice.
reason. I
But
don't.
once again,
I
I'm
didn't.
not
Nice.
seeing a problem. I'm
Yeah,
not
that's
seeing a
exactly.
problem.
Not a
Those
big
are
deal.
What the
Beautiful.
Sometimes I see my own calves in like a reflection, and I'm like, Jesus Christ! Like,
I think my calves are like the size of my forearms. Like,
that's
I have like tiny.
Oh
But
my!
Oh,
But
fishnets,
yours are
baby.
proportional to your
love
body.
the
Mine just
fishnets.
goes out.
Yeah, yours are chiseled.
Yeah, you got.
I don't know what.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're requiring bits for that past scene. Everyone must pay. It's not
Wait,
Schmo-
wait.
it's not
There's no
Schmonly
fees.
fans, but we're getting close.
Everybody was wearing socks. There was no feet. Reactions for the unquote.
Yeah,
Oh my goodness.
Only feet. Let's go.
Only feet.
Let's go.
Oh God. Okay, that was bad.
Wait, so can I trademark only calves?
Only
And then make
calves.
that a thing?
Go register the domain right now.
Oh, please
I'll
believe
sign
there's a
up.
market
I'll
for
sign
that.
I'm gonna keep showing my arms
There's
on the
always-
screen. Don't ask me to show my feet.
As I've said before, we tested the theory of any nipple causing Twitch to ban you, and yeah, no, my nipples are on the internet forever.
I'm not.
Whoops.
No, it was not a whoops. It was a test. I was doing it for science. Anyway,
I wonder if my nipple would count because I still have a beard. So would Twitch be able to tell?
Oh, good question.
I wouldn't test that theory.
Theory.
I won't,
see.
but I'm
That's
just wondering.
Is Twitch transphobic?
Is
That's what
Twitch
we're gonna
transphobic?
find out.
Oh,
if,
that
they,
does.
if they ban me, then they're affirming my gender.
Yes,
Wow.
banning is a good thing.
oh my God.
So you could go either way because it's just really nice to be like confused. It's like,
Right.
oh.
I don't want to get banned for only calves though. That's a good idea.
That's a good idea. All right, so is Aeon going to try and follow the horse, and is Callie going to try and keep up with him? Or follow the footprints, I should say. Another thing is, unless you're a ranger, you cannot track at speed.
Okay.
You know,
Alright,
that's
nope,
one
I
of the
would
ranger's
put
class
out a check.
boons.
Yeah. Oh, I don't have like any of the good tracky spells either.
You could turn into a wolf and have advantage on all perception checks. You still won't be able to keep up with Aeon, though. You're just a little bit slower than Aeon as a wolf.
Yeah, it was like as like a wolf, you might be able to.
She's
You keep
40.
pace better.
She's 40 as a
I
wolf.
can do, yeah, which is a little bit better than what I have now.
Can you
but
turn
I
into
also-
a horse? Yeah, you can turn into a horse.
Yeah, I can do. I don't have limitations anymore either. I can also just be something that flies.
You can fly?
Anything? Yeah, I have fly speed now, or I can
I
do
can fly,
flying
I
creatures
can
now.
fly, I can
Yeah,
fly.
but
think it's
here's the
level-
problem with fly speed. All the flying creatures are slower than shit.
They are. The flying speed sucks.
It's like 30, 40. Like a horse moves faster than flying speed.
Oh wait. Oh gosh, I haven't done this in a really long time. Wild shape.
You get 2 at your level.
I get 2. Yep. So I have 1 more. I don't remember what my challenge rating limit is.
It's probably you're not a Circle of the Moon, right?
Nope.
So
Circle is
at
scores.
9, it's probably still going to be a 1 or 2 at most.
Double checking. I have my cheat sheet. Yes, I can go up to level 1 or challenge rating 1.
Yeah, Circle of the Moon is where you get to, I think at that level you'd be doing level CR4s.
Yeah.
Okay, Giant Eagle is challenge rating 1, fly speed of 80.
There you go. You can actually go faster than Aeon.
But then you
And-
won't be able to track.
I have keen sight, so I have advantage on perception check still.
Never
Ooh.
mind.
Never mind.
So, okay, do you want to do this from the ground or from the air?
You do whatever works for you, but ground's the only thing I got.
Actually,
Well,
you can carry him.
Yeah, I can get quite large. Do you want to ride?
Heck yes.
Okay, hang on a second and hold on tight. I've never really done this with a passenger
Yeah, the
before.
last time I flew, a demon tried to pitch me off of a building.
I will not try to drop you.
Perfect.
Not so much
Emphasis on
flying.
How did that go for
Right.
the demon, Aeon?
It ended terribly, and I landed perfectly.
I know. See, that was, you guys are always like, you're so mean, Ray. You guys take my best monsters and you make them look stupid. So I went to throw Aeon off a building and he literally landed in a pirouette.
Oh yeah, freaking monks,
But-
man!
but-
You
but
threw
that's
the
what
monk
you want
off a
us to
building.
do.
He was the only one near him.
Yeah, I'm just saying, if you wanted to splat somebody off a building, don't throw the monk
No, you throw the fighter.
Or the
Fighter,
rogue. Or the
or
wizard.
The bard. Yeah, the bard would probably. Nope, they get featherfall.
Yeah. Oh, and the wizard gets Featherfall too. You're throwing the fighter.
Yeah, you.
Or the
yeah,
warlock.
fighter.
Warlock can't get Featherfall.
Yeah,
Well,
but
but
the
they
warlock can
can't
do like something like
fly.
Misty Step back up.
Or
Yeah,
get like
that's
fly
true.
or something like that.
But not as a
Depends on the
reaction.
That is
That is a reaction.
Does falling count as something that would require a reaction, or is it just
You
an
get a
action?
reaction
I
to
feel
that.
like
Yeah.
it would be a
You're right,
reaction.
yeah, you can get reaction.
It's not happening on your turn, so you can use a reaction as long as you have one.
Yeah,
Okay.
I mean, that's fair. That's fair. Yeah, okay. I'm going to turn into a giant eagle.
Describe your giant eagle.
Oh, gosh. Yay. This
And
is
wait,
gonna
wait,
be
wait.
exciting.
How many times have you actually turned into something that flies since you live in a cave?
I
Bats.
definitely experimented with bats. So I've never done something this large
This large that can see properly.
with feathers.
that can see properly.
It doesn't have to yell to see.
I mean, that's fair.
Headphones going dead already?
Oh, my headphones were dying, and now they're going to be screeching in my ear.
So, yes, go ahead and describe your eagle, please.
Okay. So let's see. Callie, when Callie turns into an eagle, all of her feathers definitely have more of that greenish tint to them. So they're the dark brown and greenish, almost kind of like a sickly color. Just trying to think now. Like, ugh. Never done this before. Yeah, it should just be mostly just dark browns and greens. Her feathers are super, super, super smooth. Like, they don't quite puff up as much as they maybe should. They look almost oily, but they're not. So they're not going to be like all sweaty when you touch them. And her talons and her beak are just black, and her eyes keep that like weird kind of luminescent jade color.
What type? Like, it's a giant eagle.
Giant.
And I always usually picture a bald eagle because, man. But do you have any particular species of eagle you would like to be?
Probably closer to like maybe a golden eagle, that more smooth coloration from tip to tail.
Gotcha. All right. So, Aeom, there is a bird that's almost taller than you.
That's new. I'm like,
Ah, yes, more tall things. Lovely.
do you talk or do I need to use the, and as I finish that sentence, the brain thing in my head?
Ooh, can I still teleport or telepathically talk
Yes,
with
you
them?
The
may.
best thing about
I
it
still
is
have my mental.
Yes.
Everything.
It's the best thing about this ability, and I absolutely love it. Not only can you still communicate so long as you have an intelligence score above at a certain number, you do not need to share a common language in order to communicate.
Oh,
Ooh.
dope. You don't have to speak eagle.
Exactly.
Ah.
Caw?
So, yes, you can communicate easily with the mental link.
Well, I can't use my actual mouth, but I most definitely can still use my brain.
Good. I thought you might have lost that.
No, I get to keep my brain. It's just my body that changes. But you can climb on. We can go.
What the fuck am I hearing?
What is
Kelly's a
happening?
eagle.
Bird.
Oh, she did her changing shape thing.
That's
Yeah.
kind of cool. Wait, you guys have a
Where
lead?
are you guys?
Out front of the house, we're about to start following the tracks.
The horse tracks?
On our way.
Horse tracks and weird, tallow
Which-
stains.
Actually,
Well,
if you
they've
want to hold on
converged.
just a minute for us to get there, judging by the slight bit of static, this is going to be wearing off shortly. I can reapply it without an issue. And I'm pretty sure I can try to rope in one additional person.
That would be good. I'm sure Utopia is tired of us touching our heads and saying nothing.
Yeah. Also, I want to get my horse.
Turns out they took your horse too, those bastards.
Oh, they can't
No,
take your
it's-
horse
It's an astral horse.
She can
Can't
summon
steal
it.
that.
as a bonus action.
summoning my
The horse
fucking
just
horse.
disappears out from underneath the guy as it's summoned back to Utopia.
It wasn't her horse that got
I know.
Yeah, no.
Ah,
It'd
look at their
it'd be a
horse.
fun
Their horse
gag.
is amazing.
Dude, Paladin's horses mounts get sick because
Yeah.
all the spells they get cast on them are also cast on their horse. So when Paladins put Searing Smite on themselves, guess who's now do Searing Smite?
Wow.
Oh,
Okay,
with the
that's kinda cool.
hoovies.
Legit.
Ow,
I'm
I'm
gonna get-
upset
I'm
that I
gonna get
can't
my
do
horse.
that.
Can we cast
Tell 'em.
Holy Weapon on your hooves?
I would totally do that.
For the kickies.
Yeah.
For
the
kickies.
Yeah, if anyone else casts anything on Utopia that's a buff, if it affects their horse or mount.
That's super
Yes.
cool.
Sick.
Yeah, I'm getting my horse.
All right, so
let's meet
I take it
out
you guys are
front.
headed down and outside.
Yeah.
All right. Well, you're already out. You're already out talking to the Lord, so you're already there. So you guys head out the door. Callie, are you just gonna get Aom on your back?
Yeah, I'll wait for him to climb up. Get comfy.
Yeah. The other choice is you leave him on the ground, fly in the air, and then fly down
pick
and
him up
grab
with my
him by his
talons.
arms and pick him up.
Whichever you're more comfortable with. Consent and all.
Consent.
Yeah, no, that's fair. Well, if you trust me, I can use my claws. That way, if you want to drop really quick, I can just let you go.
Fly
I
by
like
bombing
that.
Aom.
I bomb Aom.
Yeah.
Nice.
Just fly, just
Aom's eyes
literally
just start to
dropping
sparkle.
sidekick somebody off the freaking horse.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay,
So
then I'm gonna pick you up. Are you ready?
Let's do this.
Just scoop him up and start flying off after the tracks.
surprisingly, this is normally what a giant eagle would do in the wild, except the thing in their claws would be dead.
Like food,
Yes, true.
So Aom you're not even a big challenge for you to lift. You take off. It's not reducing your flying speed at all. So Aom, you're kind of your arms are kind of wrapped up in her giant talon feet, and she's holding you up by them, and you're kind of looking down. There is nothing beneath you. You are literally sailing over the city.
I can show you the world.
Yes.
And this window we're about to fuck.
I'm not gonna fly into a window.
Not by accident.
I'm just thinking about birds as they hit windows, and I'm like, oh no, are we?
So I get to keep my
There's a
intelligence.
glass.
I
So-
specifically had birds. fly
The
into
rest
my
of you
patio.
come out, and you see this huge bird swoop down, snatch Aom up, and lift off into the air, and begin circling around above you.
What is that?
Yeah, because Utopia doesn't have any idea what's going on.
No, I told him not to die again.
It's like, no,
Oh my God.
relax,
Utopia.
relax. The eagle's Callie.
It's totally
Yeah.
fine.
Okay.
The eagle screeches because Callie's trying to talk.
I
I
pat
whispered-
Utopia's back comfortingly. I know it's a lot today. Today's been a lot.
Whisper to Callie.
All right.
Callie, can you drop me just like 10 feet and then grab me again?
Oh my God.
Hold on.
How
Evil.
fast are my reflexes as an eagle? Oh, they're not bad. Oh, my eagle reflexes are faster than Callie reflexes.
Like, all right, well, now that I can see you all, let's see if I can refresh the link and I need to roll to see how long this lasts. Jeez, I need to roll.
Can we roll to see if Callie catches me?
Oh dear. Oh
If
dear.
you drop, if
Come
you
on,
go
roll.
splat on the ground,
Oh, I'm only
Yeah.
flying like
He's a
20
monk, he can't go
feet
splat
off
on the ground.
Like maybe 20 feet, not far enough. So
Callie, roll me 4d10 and add it up.
40, 10.
Yeah, 4d10 and add it up.
Uh-oh. Fall damage.
No. Fall damage is d6s. I'm seeing how high she is right now.
Oh.
Oh.
40, 10.
Since she's
Wait, no,
basically
I need
kind
to
of just
roll
going
into
straight up
6.
and
I
she's
haven't
not really
leveled up
trying
to
to really
D8
move.
I did that wrong. Why am I Drake again? What the heck?
Okay, I rolled the wrong dice. So
I don't know what I'm doing. Cool. Where's physical dice? We're gonna do this. Okay.
You do this the right way.
So, thankfully, the ability was extended by 4 hours,
Dun dun dun.
and
Utopia is now included.
yep, it's just like in her head is like, it's like now you can hear us all as well.
Okay.
Now you know why we've been touching our temples.
And you hear our voices. Sorry,
what that
I know it's
means.
weird.
I just wasn't included. Aeom, if that is Callie, and she drops you, and you go splat, we are going to have words.
I got 28, by the way.
Please don't
So
die.
you're basically 30 feet off the ground.
Okay.
Are you going to let Aeon go and try and catch him again? It's his
Well,
request.
I don't know.
Let's
like,
do
now
that
I'm
over
conflicted.
water.
Can I roll persuasion?
Oh my
I'm so
God.
conflicted because Utopia.
Go ahead and roll persuasion, Aeon,
Never
because
they're trying to get
No,
me
that's
to
no. This is like
conflicted.
Yes.
Damn.
fucking
All
God.
right,
20.
all right, I'll do it one time.
Thanks, Callie.
No, I'll let him go and
all
try to scoop
right.
him back up again.
Make me a dexterity saving throw to try and catch him.
Oh my God.
Am I using Eagle stats or my
Eagle stats.
Eagle stats. Okay.
Utopia, I guess we'll have to wait till the afterlife.
I don't have.
Do not make jokes about that.
Why
I
would
will
you say
find a
that?
way to revive you.
Why would you say that?
What's the Eagle's dex?
Eagle's dex is 17,
So you're gonna take plus
so that's
Three?
plus 3.
and add your proficiency bonus because you do get your proficiency bonus as a druid in your animal form.
Oh.
Yeah.
3, 4. Okay, so 3, 4. That's 7. I did not roll well,
Oh no.
so that would be a 10.
Oh
Ooh.
shit!
Oh no.
A 10 is not enough.
Oh no.
Not enough to snatch someone moving through midair.
Oh no. Oh no. Oh no.
So Aeom,
I use slow fall.
I'm going to check something on slow fall because
Okay.
there used to be a very
Yeah, do you-
specific rule about slow fall.
Yeah,
About
I
having
reduced
to,
the
be
damage
able to touch a wall.
Yeah, you had to be able to touch a structure.
That's
No,
still
now it's-
there.
Oh.
No, now you just use your reaction to reduce fall damage by plus 30.
Oh, but
There's
they
no
did make
wall.
by plus 30.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, it's very weird.
Oh wow!
Yeah, it's such a random
it's
number.
just it's just a flat reduction.
It's a flat rate.
Yep.
All right, let's go ahead and do this fall damage. So it's only 3d6.
I'm sorry for the complete derail as I.
No, this is what we do.
You have
This is
you
what we
have
do.
more hit points than I do right now. I think.
So are you gonna use
Gonna have
reaction to
learn how
reduce
make
it?
A hand.
I am going to use my reaction to
Giant
reduce.
hand.
So how would you like to land, Aeom?
Ooh.
Do superhero landing.
Oh, yeah, I was about to say. I do kinda like
Motherfucker.
no, I want to land and then like slightly stumble forwards as if it mattered.
Oh.
So yeah, Aeom just falls 30 feet through the air. Somehow he touches down, stumbles a little, but is perfectly fine. Doesn't even really bend his knees that much.
I have questions about how you are not a pancake.
I don't. I'm gonna run over and I'm slinging him over my fucking shoulder.
I don't know that. I mean, okay.
No. Cannot trust
He
you.
cannot be trusted.
He cannot be trusted.
I mean, that's fair.
Yeah, exactly.
That's fair, says the person who was talked into dropping.
Yeah, I know. That's fair. No,
Great idea.
I don't. Yeah, we should not trust him. It's being
we
silly.
cannot
Like,
trust
it's
him.
why didn't you guys just think of doing that over water? You know, where you can't get hurt.
Well, it depends at the height that you're dropping. Water actually hurts a lot.
Not if you
Oh,
throw
boy.
something in before you hit it.
I don't really have anything besides the.
It's a lot of
scroll.
variables.
Yeah.
As one who's jumped off a tower into water, as long as the water is not, still, you're fine.
Oh,
It's
still
still
water.
water,
Is very, very
Break the water
dangerous.
flow.
I,
just
I
drink
don't.
the water.
I don't think I want to know.
I've done a lot. He's like, he's just gonna kind of roll up a sleeve and show the tattooed what looks like telling marks on his arm. There's a reason I need to go to the tattoo parlor at some point.
Yeah,
Did you actually go down in that fight?
Right here.
I got close.
Okay.
4 HP away.
Ooh.
All right. So,
Close
Callie,
enough.
are you going to try and look around, scope the area out, follow the road?
So yeah, I'm gonna try to keep eyes on the tracks, and you guys just follow me. I think I can track him.
All right. So
Okay.
you have advantage on the roll, but because you're moving, I'm assuming you're trying to move quickly.
If my fly speed is 80,
Mm-hmm.
that's full, but that would be considered moving quickly.
Yes, because here's the
the full
thing:
movement.
Rangers can do that.
Yeah.
But everyone else who tries to do that is rolling at disadvantage, which means you'd be making a straight roll.
Which I'm at straight roll. Okay.
Boy.
Yeah, I'm gonna go at full speed then.
Okay.
I
So go ahead and make me a survival check. Sorry.
survival check, and I'm still using my stats for it, not Eagle stats.
Yes,
Yes.
I believe. Because all the mental stats don't
Are
change;
yours.
it's the physical stats that change.
Yes, and that's a wisdom. So okay.
You got to save that one in particular as well.
Yay.
Nice.
Ooh,
From
thank you.
Milagros.
Yep.
That means I get to add an additional D4 if I need it,
Yes.
or I
You
get a reroll.
You basically no. You get the effects of bless for one roll.
Okay. Yes, we're gonna add it because I don't trust myself now. It's good. It was good.
Yep.
I shouldn't have trusted myself. That would have been
So the horse is cutting down through the city. You can see the tracks go. They go down the road that goes south from the house, and they're heading towards the exterior wall of the city. The last bridge before the river goes under the wall, and because I don't know if I described this to you, but a river comes into Trask. But in Trask, they actually took the river and they made it flow into 3 separate cut channels that go through the city, and they divide the city into 3 separate sections, going from south to north. Okay, and
Okay.
so there's bridges all throughout the city. There's 4 sets of bridges. There's the sets of bridges that are in the far east. And then there's basically 3 bridges there. Then about several blocks up, there's another set of bridges. Then there's a more central set of the 4 bridges, which is the ones that actually come straight up to the palace of Lord Trask and the Skyport. And those are like much bigger bridges. They're obviously built for commerce and everything like that. And then there's the last bridges, which are the gate bridges, which are down near the gate that leads out of the city, which is in the western wall. The southern wall is just there to keep a border between the city and the forests, which are just south of it. And then on the eastern wall, the entrances for the river are there, and there is another smaller, what they call a sally port or a small gate, that's in that wall that can let like small carts in and citizens who come in from the trails to the north. Okay? And then of course on the far north wall is not a wall, it's the cliff face going up. So you guys coming in, and so there's one gate that leaves the city with the most amount of traffic, and that is what they call Southgate, and it is because there's 3 sets of gates. So the south gate has the most traffic. The garden gate is the one that is actually a gate that leads into and out of the same area that the cemetery and park are on. And that is also where the refugees are building out their camp. And then the north gate is called the Lord's Gate, and it's smaller. It doesn't get used nearly as much. And it is, it's usually closed all the time. It's hardly ever open. So he's riding down the street. He's coming towards where he would have there. Basically, he's running out of buildings. There is manor houses all along this area. This is a very well-off area. This is the northernmost portion of the city, so it's got a lot of the upper nobility of this small city. And then you see that the tracks go across the last bridge. From there, and you're following the footprints, by the way, nothing the horse. You're following the footprints. From there, the footprints are starting to fade really, really badly. And there's not as much, because like literally you were seeing like chunks on the ground when there's no footprints. But that's been getting less and less. After that goes across the bridge, it's very hard, even with that roll, it's very hard to find any tracks. But you also notice that the stride is greatly reduced.
Okay.
Like he came across the bridge and he stopped moving fast.
Okay.
So but to get any better idea of where he's going from here, you're gonna have to get lower. And you're gonna have to take actual time, like you're gonna have to circle around the area and try and make another roll.
Okay.
So all this time, can we be like kind of following the eagle as fast as we can?
Oh yeah.
I'm getting my horse. I'm keeping Ale over my shoulder until I get the satyr pouch.
So you get the satyr what?
This is adorable.
The player chat.
Why am I imagining like a it's kind of like a bag of holding, but meant to hold a person? But then we just get like a baby bonnet and everything, so Aom can just sit in there. We put that on, and this guy's like, "It's the baby,"
Get an
and then the baby
size-
just comes out.
Yeah,
and
just
decks
jumps up.
somebody.
Aom was the drop was the last drop. Aom was like one more minor catastrophe away from becoming Utopia's purse dog. And now that's it. He's crossed that threshold.
Grounded.
I mean,
He's so
my
fucking
God.
grounded.
I know we just
I'm
met.
here for this.
I know we just met, but Callie is probably the safest person he could be with because she can heal him if she hurts him.
I have a lay on hands pool too.
Okay.
So like no, that's it. He's a purse dog now. That's it. He can't be trusted.
I've learned my
here
lesson.
for
Don't
this.
listen to Ao.
Yeah.
No.
When it concerns his safety, don't listen to him.
He's not the best with personal decisions. That's all.
Yeah,
we'll
no,
say.
Especially
not
when
at
it
all.
comes to random impulsive shit. He's like, hey, what if I just stop listening at that point? Like, just don't.
Actually, while we're going on there, it's like, so how often, Utopia, has he almost died?
I don't keep track. I can't keep track.
I think
I wasn't
I'm at
even
7.
there.
7 times I've physically died.
Well, I got you beat by 11.
Don't turn it into a competition. It
It's
will be a competition.
not.
Please don't.
Every one of
Please
these,
don't do that.
motion to his arms, every one of these is a lesson learned.
Oh,
Never
see,
learned the
Aeon,
same
their
one twice.
lessons. You're 7 lessons behind.
Yeah,
Again,
So you don't
let's
get to
not
put
make this
yourself
a
in
con-
danger
So-
until you're caught up.
but I
That's-
like to
that-
think of it as one step closer to my god. At some point, I'll get to see them.
Oh,
Hey,
that's
hey,
adorable.
Aeon,
At
remember
some
those
point,
conversations?
nowhere in the future.
Remember those conversations that we had where I'm not allowed to just throw myself into danger? Remember those lectures you gave me? Here's a reverse Uno card.
You know, he's got a
Fine.
point. I'm a madman, and even I don't throw myself at death.
Yeah.
I've had enough brushes with it to know. Trust me, she's a bitch.
Callie,
Yes, it feels different.
while they're having this conversation, you're actually kind of like trying to pick up the trail again. I need you to make me another survival check, but this one is with advantage because I'm not
With
counting you as
advantage.
moving.
Okay. Advantage. Oh, that was not good. Okay.
It's still an 18.
Same roll. Yeah, that's okay. That's okay.
All right.
I'll take it.
The footprints, although very faded and you can barely make them out anymore, they go towards an alley between two buildings. It's a very narrow, like you can walk down it if you can, like a person can walk down it, but like my elbows will be hitting the walls. So it goes to the alley. There is an odd situation where the footprints like stop right in front of the alley and then start back up again, but they're going backwards. And there's two trails like kind of between the feet.
Like it's dragging someone or something.
Possibly. And it's going down the alley. Now, as a giant eagle, you can't fit down the alley. You can
can't
fly
fit.
over it, though, and perch on the building beside it and look down.
I'm most definitely gonna perch on a building and try to.
So are you kind of shuffling along the edge of the building? You guys
Yep.
see her as she spins
Little
slowly
chicken
down,
dance.
and then she like goes down and she disappears and looks like she lands on a roof of a building.
Ruffle my
Well, there.
feathers
All right.
to like get
There we go.
their attention.
What are you
Well,
seeing?
my
Kelly?
time to shine.
You come up the alley.
I literally like as soon as I get close to it, I just run up the wall so that instead of just going into like if the alley entrance is here,
Mm-hmm.
I'm entering up here.
Yeah, and these are like 2-story buildings, so you can definitely run along the walls here. And there's not like a
There's just-
lot of exposed windows because they would basically just be looking out the other building from like
So
7
Utopia,
feet
this will be your first time seeing him just there. It looks like he's running full speed at the wall and then literally just clamber up and just pull something like detach something from his boots, just clamber on, and then literally just Spider-Man / Smeagol climb around that corner.
I think he has somebody with him, and I don't think they're conscious.
Lovely.
So you come flying around. You come flying around the corner from above, and you see because of the alley's angle to the road, the alley is like in shadows, or angle to the sun, I should say. And as you go down the alleyway, you see that at the end of the alley, it actually dead ends into a wall that's like on the building that's facing the next block, and there's a door leading into that building at street level, and there is right in front of the door. There is a large dark pool with a figure laying in it.
Would Derek Vision allow me to see it a
You
little
only
bit
see in
better?
black and white.
It's like, I think I found the body. I think somebody saw him. I'm
Whose
just gonna
body?
just slowly
Who is it?
creep
Who is
down the wall closer just to get a better look.
As you slowly creep down the wall closer, you smell, well before you can make it out, the incredibly strong coppery scent of a lot of blood.
Oh. Does this look like our X-degree burn victim, or
Same basic height and build.
but are they?
They're
Is it
not,
like
they're not wearing a
Something like that.
stitch of clothes. They're very, very dark, but there's some patches of white, like at the joints, in the back of the skull.
I need someone to get in here with some light. I'm having trouble making this out in this darkness.
I can do a light thing. I have a light cantrip.
Yeah, you have a light cantrip.
Make it quick. I want to. Something's not right here.
So you come hauling butt. You cast light what on your hammer?
I'll just use my hands.
Okay. So she comes walking down. She has her hand out and it's glowing. And she comes walking down the thing. As you walk down the thing, there is a body laying in a pool of blood. And the body has been stripped of all clothes. and incredibly perfectly skinned. Every inch. There is not a vestige of skin on it.
This thing could take the skin of other people's and wear it like a puppet.
Sorry, what?
Remember how this thing apparently just walked off after that? I'm not so sure that was who a certain lord thought it was. Because right now I'm seeing someone who doesn't have a lick of skin on them anymore. I think whatever the thing we're dealing with, it can make itself a skin suit.
But whose skin is it wearing now?
No
yes,
idea.
but also, he kind of burned off all of his skin before, so.
So we needed a new body to take to appear as. Which also means that wasn't that guy's advisor at all. More like something that took its place and their skin and voice.
I wonder how long that's been going on for.
You really want to find out the answer to that question?
I think it's important, as terrible as it is. Why and when was he replaced?
Well, considering the association with those assassins, whatever this thing is, it's not natural. A normal person can't do that shit.
Kind of have a rough idea as to why, but how long and who exactly is the question.
Well, I think it's important because clearly they've been planning this for a while. I mean, if he was prepared for the moment that the assassins attacked, and he was able and willing to hide as his advisor, he had to have practiced at this.
I think right now the burning question that we have to ask ourselves and that we definitely should answer is, and I'm just at the body, who is this?
You mentioned something about being able to use a body before, right?
Yep.
Get answers?
And I will begin the process of, like, I sing this dirge, this deep, dark dirge into the body. And through that, I'm going to cast Speak with Dead.
Excellent. And
Heebie-jeebies.
as we do that, we're going to go on a 10-minute break.
Ah! Heebie-jeebies.
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 So, ladies and gentlemen, it is now time for us to take a little breaky poo. We're going to get some more to drinks. We're going to go use facilities if we've got to. And then we're going to come back in 10 minutes. But before we do that, we are going to start up the amazing giveaway for the mini from the Necromancer's Tower Kickstarter that is going on. That's concluding. I think it's already done, but I got to double check. Let me see. Oh, I didn't have it on there. I'll just copy this. But let me check and see if it's still going on. But either way, even if it's not going on at this time, we are going to be... Yep, 14 hours left. It has 14 hours left in the Kickstarter. We're going to be giving away one of these minis. Actually, Doug, who is one of the gentlemen running the Kickstarter and a friend of mine, is going to be giving away one of these minis to one lucky winner tonight after we come back from the break. Now, the way we're going to do this is we're going to run a little giveaway. We're going to do this... Oops. Complete. And... yes, it concludes tomorrow at noon. Thank you very much, sir. That's Doug right there, guys. Say hi to Guslato.
Hello, Gislato.
And so we're going to go ahead and give that away. Right now, all you got to do is type in the word !mini. When you type that into chat, you'll be automatically entered to win. When we get back from break, you guys are gonna vote on which mini you guys want to be given away. Put it in chat now. When we come back from break, we'll tally all the votes, and we will see which mini we're giving away tonight. And thank you again to the Mechromancer's Tower Kickstarter and Doug for sponsoring us this week. We greatly appreciate it. And we will be back it's 9:35. We'll be back at 9:45 to continue the epic tales and to give away the mini from the Necromancer's Tower Kickstarter. Love you guys. We'll see you back here in 10. thank you again, ladies and gentlemen, for the ability to take a break. We're sorry it took a little bit longer than normal, but we were back now. Let's go ahead and see who voted for what. We have one vote for the Crypt Ghoul. We have... Who else?
2 for the Berserker.
2 for the Berserker. I think that's the only votes we had come in.
Oh, wait.
Exclamation point mini is the command to type into chat to be entered to win a free mini we will be sending to you from this Kickstarter that's up on screen. So if you want to enter, it's the last few seconds here. Go ahead and type exclamation point mini. I'm going to count down. We're the Froggle again. We did the Froggle last night.
We just get 2 Froggles.
Hey, I don't mind. But we have more votes for the Berserker currently. So we're going to go ahead and give it into 4 more seconds because I am stalling while I bring this thing back. Not that way. Oh my god.
You're so
Crazy.
funny.
I'm closing the entries. I'm mad.
He already entered.
I'm mad.
Oh god. So let's go ahead and pick a winner who's going to win the mini tonight. That winner is Ronoxus. What? What?
Laugh at my jokes. No.
Laugh
You
at
can't
my-
make me.
Excellent, Ronoxus. Thank you so much. And I do believe we have the information, Ronoxus. If not, I'll double check with you to make sure we do. We are going to send that information over to Doug. And Ronoxus, if you're in Discord, Doug will probably reach out to you directly on Discord if you're on Discord. Just let me know what your Discord handle is. You can do it in a DM or anything like that on Discord, because my handle in our Discord is pretty obvious. It starts with RAY.
Ray-Ban sunglasses.
So it's not as obvious as I thought it was, but it's still really obvious.
Reynard.
Ray's knees are toast.
I wonder what's
His
happening.
knees
I wonder
are
what's happening
done.
to poor Camille right now.
Do not! I've already stabbed this can.
Look, the more you threaten his knees, the more inclined he is to say, I'm going to lose it anyway. I might as well make him hurt as much as possible
Make it
before
worth
that.
my while.
The emotional trauma has
Make it
to
worth
wait,
the
Milagros. The emotional trauma has to equal the physical trauma you want to inflict on me.
It's got a
What?
good point.
I would like you to introduce you to your predecessor.
Look, as long as you're not going to use that can to remove his knees, we good.
Ooh. Ooh.
I think that all depends on what
Rusty
happens tonight.
Cannon.
It really did.
Dude, my knees are so bad off, you might as well just take them.
But also,
It
Ray,
was
are
the
you
Berserker,
preemptively-
yes. It was the Berserker, Guslado. And,
Yes, law of equivalent exchange.
Equivalent
indeed.
exchange, 100%.
What exchange?
and Ronoxus won. Double check something. And they are still in chat, yes. Edward?
Ray isn't aware of the law of equivalent exchange. That
Oh, that's right. He's still not.
that's
He's
it.
not seen Full Metal Alchemist.
I have not
We need-
seen
He
Full Metal
doesn't even
Alchemist.
get the reference. He doesn't even get the reference.
It's fine. I know where the Admiral
did,
sleeps.
I did take basic physics, so
What?
No,
you know.
that was created by Full Metal Alchemist.
yeah, yeah.
Okay,
exactly.
cool. No, all right, yeah.
There's nowhere else.
Nowhere else. Nowhere else. It's not a
Literally does
basic
not
fucking
exist
principle of
anywhere else.
mass.
Wow,
I don't know what you're
Actually,
talking
no,
about.
he's got a good point. That is where they derived it from.
I mean, it is
so-
alchemy.
It is alchemy.
It's out-
Yeah, because alchemy is an exact science. Yeah.
It is.
No, it's yeah,
You gotta draw those
Absolutely.
circles perfectly.
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely. No.
I mean, I turned
And you gotta draw them perfectly by hand because that's completely possible.
Yeah.
It's absolutely possible.
I turned coal into gold just the other
I've
day.
seen
Ray.
exactly one person who can do this. That's
Just
bullshit.
yesterday, bro.
just yesterday.
All right,
The same.
that's enough. I have had enough. Just kidding.
Oh.
Oh, I was like, wait a second. What?
No.
The teacher's mad.
Is this the implosion of the
We're gonna
session?
go to the principal's office.
Don't make me sit at another table that explodes.
Oh,
Wait,
no.
what about exploding? Hey. Could be worse. Could be worse.
How?
Let's
'Cause I'll make
Don't
that
give
happen.
him ideas.
No.
Don't give him
No.
ideas.
I mean,
Don't
that is
say
worse.
anything. Don't
If
finish
the
that
table
sentence.
explodes, that is the worst thing that could happen.
I don't know. Tequila special's worse.
Tequila special?
I mean,
I'll
I'll drink
explain
tequila
that
if it
later.
means that
Okay.
keeps happening.
I don't want an explanation.
You do want an
If
explanation.
it involves
I
tequila,
don't.
someone's going to jail. That's just the
No.
way it is.
I
All right.
don't tequila.
So, you are in an alley with a body that has been gruesomely and horribly disfigured. There's a large amount of blood on the ground around the body. The body is laying face down. What are you guys going to do?
Gonna turn the body over,
Val
and
Val
I'm
cast
singing
Speak with
into
the
it to cast Speak with Dead.
You turn the body over, and as you roll the body over, the eyes, of course, have no eyelids. They're staring up. The nose is still mostly there. It's all tissue and cartilage. There's no lips on the face. It's just teeth. And as you roll the body over, you see bubbles forming on the teeth.
It's still alive?
And you notice that the eyes begin madly looking around in the head.
What the fuck?
Can we heal them enough to where their skin will go back?
I don't have regeneration yet.
You can possibly stabilize them, but without regeneration,
I don't have that either.
that
just
would
gonna
have
walk
to
over.
heal.
I'm gonna walk over and hold their hand, and just like sit beside them.
Oh, their skinless hand.
They're when you pick up their hand desperately clings to yours.
It's okay.
And the eyes instantly look over at you.
Whatever did this, where did it go?
Just give them a moment.
The mouth opens, and there is it. You can tell it's trying to say something. You can see the muscles in the face working.
Can you put him in the link?
Not without excluding someone else.
Pick
And
me out of it.
the tongue tries to work, but there's just so much that happens in the act of speaking that it requires the lips, the tongue, the cheeks, everything,
Actually,
that they basically are just making gurgling noises.
All right.
stay
Don't
calm,
try
stay
to
calm, stay
speak.
calm. I can, and I put my hands on. I put a hand on, like as gently as I can, top of their cranium. Mind to your mind. Thoughts to your thoughts. And I forge a mind link.
Oh God, make it stop! Oh God, oh God, oh, it hurts! It hurts! Oh my God, it hurts! It hurts! Make it stop! Make it stop! Make it stop! No stopping. Continuing. Cannot even. The only thing you're getting is pain.
Okay, I'm gonna try and stabilize it.
I'm
Pure
also
serious.
spending all my key points to heal this person as this is happening.
Are you using the healing touch?
Yep.
All right.
Okay.
I have. Where is it? I can give 45 hit points. I don't know what that would do, but would that help? I can give up to 45.
Like I said,
I'll-
the healing will stabilize them. It'll
Yes.
regenerate blood
can't go
lost. It will stop them from losing further hit points due to shock and blood loss and everything like that.
Mhm.
The skin has to be regenerated.
Yep.
Otherwise,
We
you're
don't have a way to do it.
healing him to have no skin
And which will lead to him dying anyway.
of massive infections.
Oh.
Yeah.
It's like right now, with the state they're in, I don't think they're going to be answering questions. They're in a lot of pain.
And even if you heal
And if
them,
they do survive,
all the nerves that are exposed mean that even the slightest
Yeah.
breeze is raw pain.
Right.
if they, it's like, as much as I hate to do this,
Oh.
for those uncomfortable with this, look away.
Aeon puts his mask on.
I'm going to gently grabs the other hand and think into it. It's okay. We're here with you. The pain's going to end soon.
Aeon,
He's
you did
just
burn
going
your
to-
key points, right?
Hmm?
You did burn the key points to heal them?
I did.
The breathing is more even. Through the mind link, they are still in pain. Not nearly as bad, but it's still incredible amounts of pain. But
so
there
sorry you
is
had to go
some
through this.
semblance of thought.
If you could tell us as best as you can what happened.
You get images of a man roughly about the same height and build as the Seneschal. He's in an alley taking a piss. He's, just there, and since you're mind linked, you can hear in his head, he's like, all right, I gotta finish the rest of the loaves for the potter. It says, and then I can get to work on the cakes, and then tomorrow I've got to make sure that I get down to the mill because I'm running out of flour. And all of a sudden, there is a blinding flash through your vision. And the next thing you feel is you're laying on your face. And your body is being horribly jerked around. And there is so much pain. Something is cutting into your back. And just there's wet tearing sounds. You don't want to think about it. The pain's getting in too much. You're rolled over and you keep your eyes closed. You don't want to see it. You're trying to keep your eyes closed right up until your face is peeled off. Through the haze of blood and pain, you look up and you see a face that's like a skull with lots of bits of burnt flesh hanging off of it. No lips, teeth sitting there, no gums, no flesh. Inside the eye sockets are two eyes. They're the same brown eyes the Seneschal had. As those eyes are looking down at these permanently open eyes, the figure stops moving and is staring in those eyes. And as you watch, the eyes change shade from the dull brown they were to a deep blue. And as the eyes change shade, you see that he is quickly covered by this moving, wrinkly mass that rolls all across him. And as that happens, it then begins to stretch taut. And before everything ends, before you're flipped back on your face, you see your own face looking down at you. As this thing begins to wiggle it and move it and get it just so. And in your own voice out loud, you hear it say, I need to make sure to get to the mill to get flour tomorrow. It stands up in your clothes and with almost a casual disregard kicks the body over into its face.
We're so sorry.
Go to the embrace of the Mist Mother.
Just looking to Val. Did you get it?
Yeah.
No one has to go into any detail, but I'm assuming you're going to release him.
Yep.
All right. Drake just kind of like puts his hand somewhat open, somewhat closed by the side of his head. It's like, you will no longer feel any pain. Rest. And just summon the Psyblade. Put him out of his misery.
Sphinx. Emery's is still linked. There
Wait,
is.
say again?
So Emery's is still linked.
Val.
Sorry. Val.
Wrong
Sorry.
dad.
Thank you very much.
The other
Val
dad.
is still linked. I thought
Val
Val
is still
disconnected.
linked.
Shit.
Yeah.
Oh
Um,
no! Is Val gonna die?
What is the effects of the Psyblade exactly? It's psychic damage, I know that.
It's just pure psychic damage. Doing some research, they don't leave
I have
any
resistance.
mark or mar on the body, so he might get a little bit of feedback. But since they're not cutting into him psionically, he wouldn't be hurt. But he might get a little bit of a what just happened?
So
like
there is
suddenly just disconnecting out of nowhere.
there is a sudden and massive stab of pain, and it's centered on your head, but it feels like it's stabbing through not your mind, but you, your id, your personality, everything that is you. And you feel almost a soft, feathery snap. And as you're sitting there linked to this mind flits away. And it's almost with relief.
They can rest now.
Two things. One, among the things we have on our list of things to do, justice for this poor man and anyone else that thing has hurt has been added to the list. Two, and I look at Drake, I never want to feel that again.
Not a problem. Sorry, I thought you disconnected.
I felt him die.
Aeom looks at Drake.
I'm gonna give Val a hug. Don't know what else to do.
Val will
Stay on
openly
top of
weep
the lip.
into Utopia's chest. Like, he died, and I felt him, and he was relieved.
That's why my order was created. For that moment of release. And I look at Drake and I nod.
As you look at Drake, he's standing kind of like by in front of the door. The corner behind Drake is the darkest corner in this alley. It's the most filled with shadow. In that corner, you see the figure of the Night Mother. in the shadow.
Son of a bitch.
And I just nod at her.
There's no revealed face, it's just the hood. But you see the hood inclines back to you. And it slowly fades into the shadow.
What were you just nodding at?
Nothing.
Got it.
I'll kind of lift my head up from Utopia, like not looking at anything. Helm, when the Night Mother spoke to you and warned you to watch out for the minister, do you think this is what they were talking about?
I think everything's playing out the way it has to. That
I'll
mind
blink.
is important.
I'll blink, and my eyes will go jet black, and then I'll blink again, and they'll be normal again. And I'll look at Aelm. That will not do. And I'm gonna get up, and there's just this look of like silent rage. That will not do at all.
Whatever this thing is, we know it can take on the face. If the minister didn't recognize it, that means they can also mimic the voice as well. But if it was able to be so deceptive, it must be able to use something with their minds as well. Memories, maybe. Something that they can step into their shoes without drawing attention to itself.
We need to make sure that the minister is on constant guard. If this thing can take anyone's face, and their voice, and their memories.
Which also means there's no way to counteract it unless we know exactly what we're looking for and have some way of knowing how to identify it among other things.
Aeom is staring at Val as well.
I've seen his face.
We can only accomplish this with a clear head, Val.
I know.
You've seen his face? You know what he looks like. That means we know what his current host is, what it appears as. That means we can find it, hopefully, before it strikes again. It's not likely to do this twice quickly. That's going to leave too many bodies.
This man was a baker.
It's going to have to lay low. It's going to have to act like everything is normal. If it finds out the city's looking for it, there'll be trouble. It'll disappear. And there's no telling if we're going to find the next body in time. We have to do this carefully if we're going to take it out. But as much as I really want to take this thing out, we have a problem. If they were working in cahoots, this thing's going to lay low, take on their position. But what about that assassin?
We still need to find the assassin.
We can alert the guards. Let them know to watch this person's every fucking move. Not to let him out of their sights for a minute. And if anyone disappears, if anyone is unaccounted for, start looking for them.
The problem there is that in order for this to have any degree of believability, they're going to have to see what I saw.
And we can't just mind meld everyone now, can we?
No.
Fuck. Nothing is ever fucking simple.
No.
Anyone know any way to make minor illusions or anything like that? It'd be an easier way to show it off. It's not like we can come up with any of this shit on the fly.
Val, you can do that.
I can. Well, I also know minor illusion, but
That'll work for showing it off then.
it's doesn't work so well with people so much as it does with objects.
Shit. All right. Trask mentioned that if there's any chance that the assassins are trying to lay low, it's probably going to be in the refugee camp.
We've been there before. They know us.
They know us. The
Which means
memory
they will.
also mentioned a mill.
Right.
Might be prudent of us to have someone watch the mill.
Not a bad idea. Wait a minute. If the assassins are hiding in the refugee camp, you've been all there before. They know you. They'll recognize you and hide, but they don't know me and Callie. At least the refugees don't. They won't be on the lookout for us.
It's true.
Make a good point.
I have my ways with, just call them shady individuals. If there's any kind of network there, I can try to establish myself and make some friends. Inquire a bit discreetly.
You guys continue. I'm going to be right back. I apologize.
Cool. I'm gonna turn to Utopia. Utopia, I've heard stories, particularly regarding the type of mounts that you're able to summon. That they're able to function as guards or protectors. That's something you think your steed is capable of?
I think it should work. It's not technically alive, so I don't think it would need to leave its post for any reason at all, ever. And I don't think it can be affected. I mean, this creature wouldn't take the form of a horse in general, I don't think, but
No.
it can't do anything to it without affecting me. So we could have that as a permanent guard. But I only have one, so we would need to decide where to put it.
Right.
And it'd be kind of suspicious if a horse is following someone around.
Yeah.
Put the horse in the refugee camp. Not necessarily have it follow anyone around.
You just leave a unicorn in the
Kind of.
region.
Yeah.
Utopia's
hang
horse
out.
is very distinctive. It is like a war horse.
It's literally a My Little Pony looking at.
Oh my god, yes.
Yeah, I have a
Where's my
description
Rainbow
of it
Dash?
somewhere. It's-
So, as a horse or a specimen of a horse, it is very recognizable.
it's very much.
That might not
Utopia's
work
horse.
then.
It's very much Utopia's horse.
Shit.
We need to think this through. And honestly, this may be a bigger job than just us. We may need to acquire some friends to help out people whose faces aren't as easily recognizable.
That doesn't do anything for Camille in the here and now, though.
No,
No.
it doesn't.
We need to pursue Camille.
So?
The mill is probably going to, if what you say is true, and what we suspect is true about this thing being able to take on memories in order to better blend in. You said he was a baker, correct?
That's right.
I mean, most likely he's going to have to go about normal baking duties. Which is probably why you mentioned the mill.
For flour, he said.
It's gonna
I'll
be
make
part
an
of its
insight
cover
check.
story.
Val, make me an insight check.
Insight indeed. Ooh, I have training in that. That is a dirty 20, sir.
Okay.
Yeah.
So when he said that, he was repeating what the baker was already have been thinking.
Oh fuck!
Caught that.
So he was repeating everything the baker, and he used the baker's voice and the baker's tone. So that's the big thing. The other thing is, the baker was, when you saw the body, like the thing in his body and his clothes, the baker was in his working clothes. He had flour on his shirt, which means that, or flour on his apron, and was wearing an apron, which means that the bakery is probably somewhere nearby.
I think the bakery is probably someplace nearby. He was in his baking clothes, apron and all. If
So
nothing
I
else,
guess here's the
we-
better question: are we gonna hunt this thing and kill it now, or are we gonna rest up a little bit and come after it in the morning when it's supposedly working its shop?
But where did the horse and the assassin go?
That's another good question. We don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, I doubt somebody, unless they found a way to duck in somewhere and change while keeping Camille, well, at Blade Point, somebody would have seen them,
I think
especially wearing an old black gimp suit.
At that point, I'm going to raise my hand as if I'm going, like, trying to think, but instead I'm going to snap my fingers, and from out of a pocket dimension, a small white fox will appear.
Inari.
This will be the first time the two of you have met
Yeah.
Inari.
It's been
My
so
familiar.
long. It's nice to see you.
And I will kind of kneel towards him. I need your nose, and I need your eyes, and I need your ears. Anything that like doesn't belong. Need you to alert me. Gonna pass by a bakery, maybe. When we do, I'm going to use your eyes. I don't know how I'm going to react if I see what I'm hoping to see. But I know you can do this. Scraping behind his ears.
He leans into it.
And we have to find our friend Camille. Can you sniff the air or anywhere near and pick up her scent? Been around her.
It's just a regular fox, right?
It's a snow fox.
Not as cute as a marble fox, but still cute.
It's pretty damn cute, yeah.
Fenix fox.
Oh, Fenix foxes are, yeah, they are.
Fenix are my
serious.
favorites.
Those huge ass fucking ears.
They're so cute.
Foxes are playfully vocal too.
I would love a fox so much.
They're expensive though, like to take care of.
Yeah.
They're stupid smart is the problem.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. 9.
Yeah.
9.
Yes.
What does the fox say?
I love the fox.
All right, so unfortunately, foxes are not given the statistics to be the best trackers.
They have advantage on perception checks that rely on hearing, though,
Yeah, but not scent.
but not scent.
So you can make a perception check for Renari. They have a +3. And see if they can pick up anything.
Okay. So, oops, wrong mouse. Just gonna do a straight roll. +1, 2, 3. Oof. 14.
All right. So you gave it several things to look for, correct? Or are you wanting to just take it to the bakery and it's just looking for Camille's scent right now?
Right now, looking for Camille's scent.
Okay. So Renari perks up and begins to it moves to the end of the alley that you came in from, and it disappears to the right. Then it comes back and it kind of looks down at you guys, dips its head a couple of times, then goes back to the right.
Okay, he's got something, and I'm gonna just start following him.
All right. So Renari begins taking off, and he runs down back in towards the inner portion of the city. He's obviously following something that he's got a good nose on because he's beelining. He's not really veering off left and right.
Okay.
He comes up to a building, and you smell it before you get there. Baked bread.
What do I? Bread.
But Renari doesn't stop. Goes right past it.
Make note of that. That's the bakery. And I keep going.
Renari gets down to where these streets end, and there is not end, but to the right there is a bridge that goes across. Renari cuts back across the bridge and begins moving down to it. At this point, this is the section of the city that, at the end of the walls on the west side, actually ends at the graveyard and the park, which is now being converted into housing for the refugees. Renari instantly cuts down the street and begins making towards the refugee camp.
I knew it.
As Renari gets closer, it cuts down beside a house ahead of you, and you hear a startled whinnying, and Renari yips a couple of times.
I catch up with him as best as I can.
Right around the corner. Renari's kind of hiding behind a barrel, and there's a horse who's trying to investigate him. It's curious about him. And the horse is sweating. There's foam on it. It's doing that tremor thing when the horse has been ridden really, really hard, and afterwards its muscles are just still twitching afterwards. But its saddle is in place, but there's nothing else on it. The building to the left is just it's a cobbler shop, and there's obviously an apartment above it. And the building to the right of this alleyway is a tailor shop, and there's obvious apartment above it. And the alley goes down, and behind it, and you can smell the reek down the alleyway, because this is on the other side of this alleyway borders one of the rivers. You can smell the reek of a tanner's.
Okay. I am going to do my best to quietly search for an entrance
to
the building where the horse is.
The horse isn't tied anywhere. It was wandering.
It's not tied.
Nope.
I have an idea, and I actually have something to back it. If Callie can help with the horse, or help calm the horse, if they were taken willingly, there's going to be 2 sets of boot prints that are going in the same direction. The assassins and their hostages. If they were not taken willingly, as in they were carried, the boot prints are going to be much deeper and much more pronounced. If we can calm that horse down, I have expertise in investigation. I think I might be able to find those prints and figure out which one they went to.
Okay. Let's try that then.
All right.
Callie, can you calm the horse?
Callie's gonna revert back into a person again.
Forgot you're an eagle.
I've been just like an eagle sitting on top of the fucking building this whole time.
A giant eagle at that. People have been
giant
staring
eagle,
and shit every time
like
you land.
ruffling my feathers.
The
Stop
perfect
it,
way to
boy.
say, hey, Callie, give him the bird.
I am a bird.
I am the bird.
I am the bird.
Just the next sailors slowly walk up to the horse,
Mm-hmm.
very quietly, gently. I want to reach out to touch his nose, if you'll let me.
Are you going to make an animal handling check?
I will make an animal handling check. This one.
That determines how many fingers you lose.
Oh
I got
no.
19.
You lose none.
All your fingers
Okay.
and toes.
The horse
Let
is tentative at first. You put out your hand, and it does the whole sniff thing, and then it does
Yep,
the whole
let him do the
bumps
sniffly.
your hand with its nose, and tries to get you to start petting it.
Okay. Yep. I'm gonna pet him. Hi, buddy. We need your help, and I'm hoping you're willing to help us. And I'm gonna cast Beast Bond.
Alright.
So I'm going to telepathically link myself with the beast.
Does it have to make a saving throw?
The spell fails if the beast's intelligence is 4 or higher.
No.
The link is active while you and the beast are within line of sight. Through the link, the beast can understand your telepathic message, and it can telepathically communicate simple emotions and concepts back to you.
Okay. Go right
Beast
ahead.
gains advantage on attack rolls if it gets to that.
Oh, goddamn.
Nice.
I knew this would come in handy. I was like, I don't know why I want this, but I knew it's gonna help.
I'm taking it.
Watch.
All right. So you cast Beast Bond.
Mhm.
The horse is still trembling, and in your mind, you're getting just waves of excitement and energy, and it ran, and it loves to run, and it ran, and it ran.
Okay. Can you show me where the people who are riding you jumped off?
You get a flash of a memory of it being people getting off of it on the street. 2 figures. It is scared of the taller one, not because it gives any memories of violence or bad, because the tall one just reeks of predator, and the smaller one is not. The smaller one is subservient to the bigger one. It knows that immediately. The bigger one is moving her around, like he pushes her down the alleyway a little bit, and he leans her up against the wall, and he looks at it, points at her, and since the horse doesn't speak English, gibberish comes out, and they just stand there, eyes vacant. And then the guy comes and leads the horse into the alleyway. You see the horse is very, very happy because he gets a bunch of sweet oats and throws them all over the ground. And then he goes and gets the quiet girl, and he takes her all the way down to the end of the street, the end of the alley,
Towards the tanner shop or back out onto the street?
towards the tanner shop.
towards the tailor shop. All right.
Smart
They
move.
went in the building.
They
Which
went in
one?
the very bad smell place.
They went into that
Oh no,
tannery.
they wouldn't even be thinking that. They went into the place of pee.
Oh yeah. Yep.
Place of
That's how they. Well, yeah. When you tan a hide, you use
Urine.
certain byproducts.
That's where the term "a pot
Right.
to piss" so poor you don't have a pot to piss in is from.
Mm-hmm. Or pish poor as well.
Yep. People used to literally pee in buckets and save their urine and go sell it to the tanners.
it's like
It was
so-
also used as a mouthwash.
Never talking to you again.
Yeah.
I'm a well of useless, weird information. And I don't have a filter.
You know what's the
Moving on.
worst part about this?
What?
You know what's the absolute worst part? The reason I just got interrupted is because somebody wrote pisser on the sign of a resident of mine, and he came to report it, and that's why I was just interrupted. So this whole line
What?
of conversation is just
Fitting.
horribly perfect. Oh god.
Okay.
So
I hate
what-
it here.
so wait. That's smart. It's a way to lose scent in case they're using dogs to track them.
Shit.
Let's move fast.
Yeah.
Callie's gonna
Yeah.
sneak up next to Utopia. And if it helps, it does seem like she was kind of under a control of some kind.
Is she okay? Is she
She seemed-
hurt?
She seemed totally fine. Everything's fine. She's okay.
The good
They're
thing
taking
is,
care of her.
if it's the same one we encountered earlier, they're injured. Mentally and physically. Let's go finish the job.
Yes.
I'd be happy to.
Though I would recommend you probably use stronger words than maybe here, bitch, 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 bitch.
Oh, you're talking to me. Yo, yes,
Yes.
I have many strong words.
Val has a
Good.
lexicon of strong words.
Very well read.
Well, this is an
Use them.
excellent place to wrap up for the evening, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh.
Oh no! No!
We're actually a little bit over time. So thank you guys so much. I knew
got
this was going
intense.
to be mainly story. I really was hoping to get to throw that scene in, and thank you for allowing me to get that in. I will be introducing my homebrew monster next game, and we'll see how you guys like it. And other than that, how are you guys doing?
That was intense, man.
That was tense. That was
Ooh.
super
Yeah.
tense.
So we started doing this thing on Emerald Sanctums, so I think I'd like to continue doing it here. We just basically everyone goes around and says what their favorite scene of the evening was.
Yes, finally.
And Rob is excited,
Okay.
so we're gonna
Rob
let
is gonna
Rob
Every
go
time
first.
on the lab. Every time. Favorite segment.
Go ahead, Rob.
Oh, okay. My favorite moment was single-handedly the moment where we found the man who lost his skin, and all of us had our own specific interactions with him, and just how powerful and emotional that scene was really cool. I liked everybody's interaction, and just it flowed really well. It was a really cool scene.
Excellent. Thank you very much. I'll just keep on going around my Google Cams order. Sphinx, you're up next.
Oh man. I gotta agree with Rob. The scene with the skinning victim was intense, and it was just really well done, and everyone's reactions to it was amazing. And your description of their thought process as the incident was happening was brilliant.
Thank you very much. All right.
Like I felt things like oh, is this is affecting me on a ooh, this hasn't happened before.
Thank you very much.
Can I add a thing? Just
Huh?
as like, can I add a thing?
Sure.
Just as like a, I don't do this in all the games. Can we also have it be like, if you don't have like a thing for, you know, a moment that you really enjoyed, like a player that you want to like give thanks to as like a really cool scene or stuff like that as well?
Sure,
Yeah,
absolutely.
Cool. Okay.
And Sam, you're up.
I would frankly have to agree with the thing that's been said twice thus far. It really gave everyone as their character a chance to not only come to the realization of what we're dealing with in their own unique way, but as well everyone's character to kind of react and show their true character in that moment and how they're going about it. Are they trying to get information? Are they trying to keep this person calm and preserve them? Are they there to help them pass and end their suffering? Everyone got to really show a bit about who they are and how they think in that moment without really making a whole lot of effort for it. And I absolutely love it when those moments come up.
Absolutely. Cassie.
Oh gosh. It's like, I want to agree with everybody because all your points are totally valid, but I love teamwork scenes, and I feel like tracking this guy across the city was really like just the mental image of like all these heroes dashing across the city, trying to follow this person to save somebody. The very powerful image just in its own, and I really, there's those moments that you can visually see, and I think that was the clearest moment for me.
Gotcha. Nice. Excellent.
Especially with a giant eagle flying overhead. Definitely.
Well, you know.
Yeah.
Milagros.
I want to end on a lighter note just because, holy shit, this entire session was super intense. I think my favorite little moment was Aom convincing Callie to drop him and try to scoop him. That was so stupid and so perfect. And I love that just like between the two of them, there isn't a single semblance of a brain cell.
Together we hold it, so we both have half.
That was, oh no, that you don't have half. You have nothing. You lost it. You dropped it, and now it's in the grass.
Drop it with me.
Like, oh, that was so good, and the fact
sure
that
we'll
like
find it.
Callie didn't really need persuasion, but he rolled well anyway. And I have zero faith in, and I mean this in the best way, I have zero faith in Callie as a character to not keep going with his random shit when he comes up with it. Like, it doesn't matter how many times we tell her, like, don't let him, like, don't enable his impulsive stupidity. And she's like, yeah, totally, and then totally rolls with it next time. It's gonna be great.
She's
And I
gullible
really like it as a counter to, because like having two new people in the cast is a huge shift, and I think it's going to be really interesting to see like someone who wholeheartedly leans into Aom shenanigans instead of shutting them down, and seeing just how ridiculous that's going to make him. Especially now that he's just like, my god might be dying, my planet might be dead, fuck it, I'm gonna do parkour, like, you know, just dumb shit. Exactly. Come on, man. This is why I need the Satyr business.
No, you see, this is actually why I think it's honestly good to have these additional, not so much like have the additional castmates in that fact for that very reason, but as well with some of the things they bring to the group with their own backgrounds, their own abilities. Yeah, it can cause those moments where it's like, yeah, this is being pushed, encouraged, but also gives opportunities for learning moments for those who have been in similar circumstances to say, it's like, hey, I know what you're going through right now. There are better ways to go through it than this. I got your back.
I'm looking forward to those scenes.
Well, that's the whole point of doing games like this. the big thing for me, the best scenes for me are the ones that really develop organically. So I never really count the ones that I've designed and brought to bring in, because I already know what to key off on. Like, I knew to make the baker start just thinking everyday thoughts. I mean, literally, he was walking from one place to another. He had probably just dropped off an order or something like that, and he had to take a leak, so he went into an alley, because it's the Middle Ages type high fantasy place. So into an alley, he was just going through what he needed to do that day in his head. And, you know,
it wasn't his day.
It's worst fucking luck at worst fucking time. And I didn't even, actually, to be honest, I didn't know he was a baker until I was like, you know, I knew what district I was in, and I was like, okay, there's all these things around here. And I was like, well, what would be something that would be extra hard? And I was like,
Phrasing.
no, who doesn't love going to a fucking bakery?
Yep.
You open up the door, and all those smells hit you, and you're fucking home. You know what I mean?
Not wrong.
No matter where you go. So
Yeah.
no one hates the idea of a baker. And so I knew that would be something, especially with the way I knew he was going to die.
Ruin his fucking life.
Yeah,
Who
that's my
doesn't-
job. It's
Who
my
doesn't
job.
love this member of the community? So,
Yeah.
I'm gonna cry every time I smell bread now.
Oh no!
And cut to therapy.
Wait, this isn't therapy?
No.
I signed up for the wrong
This
thing.
is the opposite of therapy.
It helps some things, causes trauma, and others it's
Yeah.
circular.
But it's
There
fake
is-
trauma.
There is one thing, at least now with Drake entering the group and with how his mindset that the group now has access to, technically,
What's that?
they have access to someone who is not afraid to do difficult things people may struggle with.
It was kind of interesting because I would have argued that point, but the brothers, the two orc brothers we had in the group before, they actually had a very strong moral code,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and there were lines they would not cross.
Mm-hmm.
And
If
you know,
if Drake sees something needs to be done and it does stray off the course of what is morally right, if he is very much, he does not entirely like to do it all the time, but he will resort to the mindset of the ends justify the means and do the difficult thing that other people cannot.
That's a very dangerous and sticky path to travel, sir.
That
I thought you were gonna say it's a slippery slope, and I was gonna say just he's fucking sledding down the slope.
Yeah, there's no slippery slope when you're going wee.
Just a slide. It's
sitting
not
on a
slope,
shield.
it's a slide.
Yeah.
But anyway, thank you everyone for tonight. It was wonderful. I really appreciate it. Sam, where can folks find you on the massive mighty interwebs?
Ooh, that's a good question. There's a few places. If you guys listen to Spotify, we actually have the first, I believe, 2 episodes up of Arcadia Bay University, a Monster Hearts real play, which we record with several amazing creators, including my wife as the main storyteller.
Mm-hmm.
We're having a bit of trouble with our recording service, so we're trying to get a new one up, and then we're going to be uploading the rest of everything we have. So we're very excited about that. Starting on Saturday, you can find the Wife's Project here on this channel. In the morning, I believe it's 10 a.m.?
Yep, 10 a.m. Eastern.
I'm trying to think. I don't have anything I'm part of on the weekends, unless my memory is failing me. Tuesdays, you guys can find me over on ADH Adventure with Cassie as we play through Turning Point. Wednesdays, you can find me here for Kings of the Mist. Cannot wait till next week. And every other Thursday, not this Thursday, unfortunately, I am part of a Star Wars 5e game taking place in the Clone Wars, soon to be Age of the Empire, over at Turn to Page 394's Twitch.
Yep, the order was given.
We have 2 Jedi in the party and someone who's going from Republic agent to ISB. Yeah, that's gonna be fun.
Yeah, that's gonna be interesting. Cassie, where can people find you on the massive interwebs?
Well, I sparingly post on Twitter and Instagram. I finally filmed more content for TikTok.
Yay!
Haven't posted anything yet, but the filming is happening. We're getting back into it. I have like 20
I am
or 30.
so happy you get the spoons back.
Very good.
I've got like these cool cosplay tools in December, and I've been dying to use them. And I finally, after having a little bit of a breakdown after my Saturday game, and thinking I was a terrible person and I wasn't paying enough attention to the story and self-deprecation, I decided, nope, I'm going to turn this into something good. And I started rebuilding some armor, and that just spiraled into me throwing on a cosplay and getting back to it.
Excellent.
So eyeballs out. It will be back. And of course, obviously, Tuesday. Yep, Turning Point. Another mental breakdown coming there.
And Wednesday for, maybe this
show. And Wednesday's here, yeah. We haven't gotten to Callie's breakdowns yet. We haven't gotten to Callie's breakdown yet. I'm sure there'll be one.
Oh, don't worry. Everyone gets a chance to break down.
Just not great. We're still wiggling.
Ask Milagros.
Yeah.
I'm Milagros.
Rude.
That look.
Oh, the death glare.
So that was a...
You can tell where I am on the screen. Milagros, where can people find you?
Well, consistently, you can find me here being tortured. Tuesdays and Wednesdays by Ray. And then Saturdays by M. My character was weirdly popular for like the strings thing in Monster Heart, so
I make an oracle, so
yeah, no. So I might make my own kind of like strings conspiracy board in a program that I use, not Obsidian, but Scapple, and just like do that. But yeah, I'm consistently here. I'm on and off on TikTok. I have 1 more month left of school, and then I'm moving to New York City. And now is crunch time with like apartment hunting and job hunting, and I mean, I don't really care about my classes, but gotta get through finals and all that so that I can graduate on time. So I will be here consistently every week, but until honestly like June, I'm not gonna promise any major content creation, just because like I know I tend to jump the gun and I just don't have it right now.
Hey, it's good to know limits, and it's good to set yourself in those limits and not try and exceed them. Just to try and make other people, happy. You need to be able to be safe and good with you. And I love that you do that, and because it makes me feel better about torturing you.
Wow. So I can put all my energy into being miserable here instead of having to portion it out,
But here it's not even real miserable.
Bro.
It's pretend miserable. It's pretend miserable.
There's real, and then there's pretend, and then there's pretend.
And then there's pretend. Like, you ever hurt
they
your
ask
own
if I want to
fake
role
feelings?
play at work, and I'm like, no, I get enough of that. Like,
No.
I don't think you want to.
Phrasing?
Phrasing.
No, never mind. I'm not going there. I'm not going there.
Excellent. Sphinx! Hello! Where can people find you on the massive interwebs?
So of course I am Sphinx Akasha, Circle DM on TikTok, Sphinx Akasha just about everywhere else, except there's also a Circle Agents, which is the Agents of the Circle official Twitter on Twitter.
It's shocking that Twitter's on Twitter.
The Twitter's on Twitter, yeah. Tuesdays and Wednesdays, of course, you can find me right here with Dinner in the Game, playing Emerald Sanctums and Kingdoms of Mist, respectively. Every other Friday, you can find me with the Alex Bomb channel, playing Initiatives and Intrigues, where I play Badru Kamar, Bard, Cleric. On the Fridays that we're not doing that, such as this coming Friday, you can find me on the ADH Adventures channel as the DM for my campaign, Agents of the Circle, which is my homebrew Eberron campaign. My players are all a group of special agents. Think X-Files meets Warehouse 13. Their agency recently was basically purged by a rival group, and they are both on the run and also hunting the people who did this to them, trying to figure out why, and getting ready to partake in a heist napping. No, you didn't mishear that. They are breaking into a place to steal a person.
Dun, dun, dun.
Real cool, and I'm excited to see how that goes. On Saturdays, alternating Saturdays, also with ADH Adventures, playing Heroes Arc, where I play Raziel Jahari, an ASMR Necromancer, and Unlicensed Magic War Crimes, where I play Zan Aliraced, a Eladrin Paladin, with a dark secret, and that's real good stuff. And yeah, that's me.
The hardest working man in streaming, ladies and gentlemen. Rob,
Hi.
where can people find you on the massive interwebs?
Oh, rarely in a lot of places. Mostly here. The lab is back, which is awesome.
Excellent.
So we are now doing, I guess it's like once a month. We're just figuring that out. So most Fridays, hopefully, we will see what happens. And then you can find me here on Wednesdays. Oh my god, so fucking rarely on TikTok. I have one video. Hooray. At some point, maybe something else will happen. Who knows?
Hey, remember, crafting TikToks are big too.
Yes, I probably
True.
should do those, except my creative process is more like absolute fucking madness. So
Those are
Okay.
the best.
Okay,
Not
post
wrong.
it.
Do it.
Drop it.
I don't know if I could.
Well, remember, you got to edit madness down into 3 minutes anyway.
Yeah. Like the problem is that I look at it and I'm like nobody else. Like I know that it's like a wrong thought because like everybody else or a lot of people probably think similar to me. But then I have that like thought process of like nobody will find this interesting or unique or useful at all. So I'm like I'm not gonna post this. I'm also an insane perfectionist, so everything that I do post has to be fucking perfect. I'm trying to get over that.
See, there's a thing I would call in that exact situation, and the thing I would call is bullshit.
I mean,
I have
just
seen
to
people
post it is
take
a
a
huge
like just
thing.
they record themselves as they're crafting like 6 or 7 hours worth of material, and then they do it like a sped up.
Yeah.
Time-lapsey stuff.
The
No,
time-
and they're definitely
Those
like,
always do great.
Yeah, exactly. I think the problem is that I don't know, not that I hold myself to like a high standard, but it's just like I look at something and I'm like, I wouldn't want to watch it because like I've done it, I've done it myself, and I look at it and I'm like, this is cringe. I can't post this, and then it's
You're
just
getting in your own head about it.
Yeah,
No,
yeah,
cringe
yeah,
are the
yeah.
best things to post. You just gotta
Yeah.
post them and then deal with the fallout later.
Yeah.
Just
Cringe,
because
cringe
you
is
may not
great.
be your type, just because you aren't your type doesn't mean someone else isn't, and that goes for a lot more than just that.
Honestly,
I like that. I
cringe
want
is
that on a
dead.
Cringe
Cringe
is
is
dead.
dead.
Just because you think it might look this way doesn't mean everyone is going to think that.
Yeah,
There are
it's gonna
going
see
to
it
be
that way.
people who like it, who enjoy it, and are going to come back and see more.
There's an audience for everything.
Yeah.
That's what she said.
Oh,
Like only
God.
feet.
My lord.
All right,
I'll take
and
care of
thank you very much, Rob. And ladies and gentlemen, if you want to find Dinner and a Game on the massive interwebs, you can go to our links in our link tree, which we've posted up there, and you can follow us on our socials and see all the massive contests we do. Speaking of contests, if you follow us here, which several of you did tonight, and we're really grateful, you are automatically entered to win. Oh. Okay, now they're not going to work. That's fun. You automatically win this set of D&D 5e books. Now we're going to give this away. We hit 1,000 followers here on Twitch. When we started this contest, we were at 500. We're already at 701. So we are getting there very, very quickly. So when we hit 1,000 followers here on Twitch, we're going to give away this set of books to one winner. This is the DMG, the Player's Guide, and the Monsters Manual, plus the GM screen. It comes in that gorgeous black slipcase, and these covers are not standard. They're called they're called foil covers. They're embossed foil covers. They're shiny. They're sparkly. They're brilliant. They're amazing, and they do not look like the other books in the game store. So if you take these books to your local game store and choose to use them, you don't have to worry about writing your name on the edge of the spine of the book like everyone else does, or the edge of the book, and because you will have books that look unique from everyone else's. Also, another thing we're doing right now is on our TikTok. We are doing our absolute best to get to 1,000 on TikTok. I don't know why, because I don't know when I'm ever going to have time to go live, but we're still going to try it anyway. But when we hit 1,000, we're going to give away this 3D printed tower. In fact, I'm going to switch this picture out because I took a picture the other day with it, with my cat in the picture for size.
Nice.
And so, but anyway, this is a 3D printed tower. It's 4 stories tall. It's about 11 inches tall at the top of the parapets. It's about 9 inches wide. It has 3 levels on the interior with staircases for each one. It has a hatch in the ceiling that goes up to the roof. The front door opens and closes. It breaks down into individual pieces. Like, where'd it go? Shit. I don't know where I put it. Okay, so anyway, I had a floor tile here, and I lost it because I'm not very smart. It breaks down into small enough pieces where you can take this entire thing and put it into one high-top shoebox. It fits on that small. And it comes with everything you need to assemble it. The one I'm giving away is this one in the picture. It is already primed. You will have to paint it, but it makes a great centerpiece for a game table, whether it be D&D or war games. It is broken out, and it is set up to be utilized for gaming, so you guys can take the levels off individually and set them aside. It's a great piece, and we're going to give it away. We hit 1,000 followers on TikTok, so do what you can to get the word out about both here on Twitch and on TikTok, because the sooner we meet these goals, the sooner we can give out these great prizes and get on to the next set of prizes, which we're always doing stuff, so just help us out, and we will help you out by giving you things to win. Yay! Alright, so anyone got any ideas for who we might to do the raid thing with?
Oh, who is currently up? Let
ADH
me
Adventures
take...
playing Dungeons and Dragons.
Oh, that they are.
Yeah,
Yes,
Secrets of
they
the
are.
Alchemist.
Yep.
Coach
I
is
was
also
just gonna
doing
say.
tabletop RPGs.
Ooh, which means we can also mess with EXE.
Who do you guys want to do? I'll let you guys pick.
ADH Adventures.
I'm down with
do
that.
it. Let's do it.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to raid
Yeah,
88
good
Adventures. Just let them know that Dinner in a Game sent you. Show them some love. Remember, all of us don't really do this for a living. We do this for fun. I love running games. That's why I do it. I love sharing those games with other people and maybe hopefully encouraging them to join this hobby and this community. It's an amazing group of people. Every community has its problems, but this community has been my home since I was 11 years old. And I am going to continue trying to support it until the day I croak. So this is just my little way of trying to get more out there for you guys. Every single creator does the same thing. At Dinner Game, we always save you a seat at the table, which basically means we're always going to try and create content with you in mind. We want you to be feeling like you're part of it, which is why we have our chat always going. We always talk to people in chat, and the chat can participate in the game by using their dagger dollars or bits to affect rolls in the actual game. You guys can do that anytime you want to. We will always take those items, mainly because we want you guys to feel like you're involved with the storyline and the plot, and we want you to feel like you're actually able to help or hinder, because you can't support the bad guys, folks. You can help
No,
or
you
hinder.
can't. He's
Yes,
lying.
you
Please
can.
don't.
No, you totally
Please don't.
can. Don't listen
Please
to
don't.
them.
No, he's
don't listen to
lying.
them. Don't
He's
listen to
lying.
them. They're lying.
Don't listen to
Your
him.
story.
Don't listen to
Start
him.
lying.
Okay, there are 5 of us and there's 1 of him. Okay, this is a
I
democracy.
mean, I'm
Okay,
all for
don't-
good story. Whatever makes the best story at the end of the day.
Okay, don't listen to Cassie. Okay, just redact both her and Ray. Anyway, listen to the rest of us. We're super cool. Yeah, no, you can only use it on the player characters.
Oh yeah. No,
To be
you can use
fair,
it-
to be fair,
Sam's canceled
Don't
if
do
too
we're
it.
now. Okay,
trying
now
to,
there's
if we're
just three
trying
of
to
us. Okay,
rescue,
now
if
there's
we're
just
trying
three
to
of us.
rescue
There's
an
Zom,
ally,
and
and
there's-
you happen to use it to help the bad guys, we'll remember that. We'll remember that.
Party
yeah,
will
no, Sam
remember
is
that.
uncanceled. Okay, yeah, Sam
I've
is
had
good
good
point.
things happen from natural ones. Just throwing it out there.
You know what? The bathhouse incident.
the
No,
bathhouse
I'm not even counting the bathhouse incident.
And the
There
reason
was
I brought
nothing but
this,
net
the
ones.
reason I brought this image up is because right now in Dinner in the Game on Tuesdays we have Emerald Sanctums, which is our World of Darkness open world game. On Wednesdays we have this Kingdom of Mist, our D&D 5e game. Thanks to M accepting a role on Dinner in the Game as a content creator, M is launching a new game this Saturday. 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. She is starting a Monster Hearts campaign. And this is going to have a lot of people that you might know from TikTok and everything like that. And we're going to be starting this this Saturday. And as part of this, you see that big, sexy man in the center there who makes me look like I'm in shape? That is Orcus. Orcus is the demon lord of death, one of the rulers of the abyss, and a massive figure in D&D lore across the multiverse. He is a badass, and this mini is 250 millimeters across on the base. This thing stands, that means it's a good, like, the base itself is probably close to 10 inches wide. And the mini itself is close to 9 or 10 inches tall. I am going to print this mini out this week, and we are going to be giving this mini away as the end of M's show on Saturday morning. Now, this is going to be the giveaway of this, and it's in honor of M taking the plunge and giving us the opportunity to show her creative talents and let her run a game for us and helping Dinner in the Game out like that. And it's a way to encourage you guys to come in and catch the debut of M's first gig as a pro DM. And we want to make sure that she has as many people there to support her as possible. So we're going to give away this particular mini, which probably, if printed out and sold in a store, if you use Warhammer figures as a estimate, it'd probably be close to $100.
Huh? Yeah.
Close to or
I've
close to
seen-
or over
that's fair.
$100.
I've seen some from Game Workshop's prices on some
Yeah.
things.
Yep. So if you guys come out and we stay for the entire show, at the end of the show we'll be giving away that mini. The show starts at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Gonna run for roughly 4 hours, but it is a first show. So we don't know how long it's gonna actually take. I know M has a hard cutoff time, but it's much longer than 4 hours away. So guys, come out and give M some support. Give Dinner in the Game some support. If you want to show us any support or love, make sure that if you can, subscribe. We do have special emojis for subscribers. I'm building some more now. And if you subscribe to Dinner in the Game, you know that all the money we get is going into supporting the show and the people on the show. As part of Dinner in the Game, we are actually going to Gen Con en masse. We are going to be going there.
Yeah, come to see me live stream the removal of Ray's kneecaps at Gen Con. It's gonna be great.
Yes.
You better be doing it on your own channel because I'm not getting the violation.
No, I got it.
I'm not getting banned. So yes, but we are going to Gen Con en masse. We've got some interviews set up. The biggest interview we got set up right now is we are interviewing Jamie Stone and possibly Satine Phoenix at Gen Con to talk about their new releases. And Jamie Stone is one of the people who's also working on that new Kickstarter that's coming out for the new 3D virtual tabletop that's coming out right now. The one that Joe Magniela is also a part of. We've backed that thing to the gills. I'm all in on that. That looks freaking amazing. And they funded in 8 hours. And I think their fund was like
of
and I think their fund was like
Yeah.
$500,000.
Wow.
So they funded in 8 hours, and they brought on professional developers, and they know what it's going to take. They've done real business cost analysis. They've worked with actual business professionals. They know what it's going to take to actually make this happen. There are a lot of other 3D virtual tabletop platforms out there. They're labors of love. They're, for what they can do, they're fucking amazing. But they're also working on shoestring budgets with guys who are doing this in their spare time. I think there's only one other project out there that has any full-time developers on it, and it doesn't have this type of backing. So I am looking forward to seeing what a actual professional studio can do with actual funding to develop this type of product for our community. And so that's the reason I backed it, and that's the reason we're going to keep up with this. And so I'm going to try and get interviews with everyone involved at Gen Con. We're working towards that right now. And if you see us there, we're all going to be in Dinner Game shirts. Right now, Milagros is going, Ivy is going, my wife is going, I'm going, Rob is going, and I think that's all for right now that we're positive on right now. So please come join us at Gen Con if you're going, and we will try and set up a meet and greet. Actually, we'll see if we can get something going some night and get everyone together.
Hey. We're hoping to be there, provided the actual vaccine for those who are immunocompromised actually comes out.
We're praying for that.
Get our
so
hands
you guys
on
can go.
Yeah,
and there's still space in the house. Kevin from Dice Cream Sandwiches may be crashing with us, but we'll just throw him on a couch. But anyway, so you guys, if you support us, we'll do everything we can to return that by increasing the quality of our content and getting one of the things I'm going to be doing, and I haven't told anyone this, but I'm going to be getting with each of you individually and seeing if there's anything you need. We're getting to the point where we're getting an actual monthly budget now, so we can do things like, if you guys want to replace a mic or anything like that, and you're staying on the show, let me know, and we can talk. Replace your camera, we can talk. So, but that's the type of thing that we want to do with Dinner and a Game, and we've got other plans for it too. It's going to be growing. I think Sam has heard some of them, because when I was selling M on coming over, I talked to her about it a lot. But all that being said, we're going to go ahead and raid ADH Adventures. They're away right now, but that's why Teller of Tales is in our chat saying hi. Hi, Teller of Tales.
And that's why we're going to pop in there. And then the moment they come out,
sabotage their away time.
It's gonna go attack.
So make sure you tell them the Dinner Game sent you. Let them know that you love them, and give them a follow if you can. And we will see you guys on Saturday for the debut of The Breakfast Club, a Monster Hearts game run by M. I'm in it. I get to play. I get to play, and Milagros is playing another character, so her character's probably going to randomly try and kill mine for no reason
I was
whatsoever.
literally going to say the first action I will take is to punch Ray's character in the face.
I need both of y'all to do me a favor. On something.
What?
So I have a game that rotates every other Saturday with another game. The DM for that game likes to put me and the wife in a lot of trauma, and he is one of the players in that game. So by all means, if you can return some of that trauma, please do.
Well, here's the thing. Your wife has sworn by all the gods that she is going to return the trauma that I have given her in Emerald Sanctums upon my soul in, as much vivid Technicolor gore as she can. So
delightful.
I have seen her on 3 separate accounts and 3 separate games of what she has done with Monster Hearts. With the way the system is set up and how it is run, that is the best possible system that she can run. That is her prime spot.
I would never retaliate in such a way. Celtic Worm King, hydrate again. I'm out, man. I'm out. I got nothing.
Done.
But anyway, let's get over there and raid, man. We've been talking enough. Remember, be safe, be careful, wear a mask when you can. See
why.
what I'm
That's
saying?
why you should
That's
wear a
why
mask.
right there.
Right
If he was
there.
wearing a mask, no one else in this house would have gotten sick right now. But now the cat has the plague.
All
So-
gonna die.
We're all gonna die.
Charlie
Wear a
said
mask
that.
when you can. Stay home as much as you can. I know it sucks. I know that the game stores are opening up again, but people, the variant that's out right now has, like, from what I understand, has all the traits of the past 2 variants. Plus, it's more infectious. So fuck that shit. I'm staying in my house until
Yeah.
like they pull my
Whoever is
dead body
playing
out.
fucking Plague Inc. with this shit, cut it out.
What's
it's not
that
fun.
game that like you try to take over the world? With,
Pandemic?
like,
Plague Inc.
Is it Pandemic? That's the
Yeah,
game.
I was obsessed with that game as a kid. I was awesome at killing the entire human race.
That's not the point of the game, Milagros.
Are you
That's not the
sure?
point of the
'Cause I
game.
would-
You're
I
supposed to
would-
fight the disease and be heroes.
Oh no, I played the one where you made the plague and like
Plague Inc.
Here's you can start rating. I'll just keep explaining this.
Ladies and gentlemen, have a good night. We'll see you. We'll see you on Saturday for King Breakfast Club. Tuesday for Emerald Sanctums. Wednesday for Kingdoms of Mist. Milagros, you can take us out with your incredible explanation. I'm hitting start
Okay,
raid.
so the smart way to do it if you want to kill absolutely everybody is you gotta start and make it super duper infectious, but have very mild symptoms because then
Yes.
nobody notices and nobody wants to cure it. So,
Oh, true.
So you gotta be
Yeah, 'cause you need to
careful and
affect
like,
like Australia, Madagascar, and like all the islands.
yeah, no, you have to infect the like furthest reaches because Madagascar will ruin your game every time. So you gotta make sure.
It's always
Yes, Greenland, Australia, Madagascar, they always
We're
ruin
out.
the game. So you have to make
I gotta
sure...
go, you guys. I gotta go,
Go,
and eat
go,
dinner
go.
and call my
Right.
parents.
All right, take it easy.
All
son.
right.
guys.
I hope
Bye,
everybody's
guys.
safe.
The one thing I hated when playing, I'm not sure if it was Pandemic or Plaguing, I cannot remember which one it was, but I remember the hardest fucking thing to take over, both because of how
Alright,
sparse
anyway.
the population and spread out was, but also because of the temperature. Fucking Greenland.
Yeah, no, you have to make it. You have to make it temperature resistant all across
Right.
the board. You have to
Earlier
do
it-
That
heat,
for you,
cold,
Illyria.
and I think
That
there
is-
was